Well, we made two bad puck decisions in the third period that cost us the game. That's basically what it boils down to. Lost our coverage on a third goal, chasing behind the net, but we could have moved that puck earlier and got out of there, and we didn't. And then the fourth goal, same thing. It was just a bad puck play, and it was in our net. I thought our game was good up till then, first period too. We gave up that first goal. We just got beat wide. I thought the second goal was a high stick, but whatever. We're right in the game. We shot ourselves in the foot in the third.
Let's get nasty on a Thursday in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 2 o'clock. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jewel. Actually, it's 2:02. Let's get that situated. Okay, it's 2:02. Thanks, Pecan Ferrario.
Yeah, those guys, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we start the show at 2, guys. At 2:02. You start at 2.
They were laying the blame on. They said it's a chain reaction because the balloon party stays on till like 11:05 or something like that.
You know what, Jamie? You know this better than anybody. You take accountability.
Yeah.
It's a you thing.
Me thing?
You take accountability. No, you in general. You take accountability.
Huh.
Okay? Don't blame anybody else. Just like the Blues aren't going to blame anything else on themselves, but themselves for last night. You also heard Craig Berube. Did you think that first period was good? From a hockey standpoint?
From a hockey standpoint, I thought it was fine. It was fine.
Jamie,
it wasn't terrible.
Can you answer something for me?
I can try.
Being the hockey guy.
I try to readjust my microphone here. Yeah, go ahead.
Forget the high stick thing.
Well, what? Yeah, whatever.
You got two guys in front of the net for Colorado.
Yeah.
Like together. I can't imagine that's how it's supposed to be. But they have two guys in front of the net.
Yeah.
To your one guy. But your one guy wasn't even on either of Colorado's guys. That can't be the defensive game plan, right? Right, Jamie?
No,
I'm not a hockey guy, but that doesn't make much sense to guard a piece of the ice where nobody is. You got two guys to the left of Binnington,
yeah,
shielding him, and your guy is to the right of Binnington, also probably shielding him.
So what you have to look out for on that one, too, is there's a bumper guy available, too, in the middle of the ice. So, and I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the short side shelf goal.
Correct.
Colton Parayko's in front of the net. What happened, what was screwy about that is Marco Scandella overcommitted on that play. Mm-hmm. So he overcommitted to Nathan MacKinnon because he popped out.
Where's MacKinnon? MacKinnon was up
in the
wall?
high slot. No, Rantanen was on the wall.
Got it.
Mikko Rantanen was on the wall. He opens up, and it looks like he might pass to Nathan MacKinnon, who's got the one-timer ready to roll.
I just ripped both
your ears right out.
Right out.
Your ear holes just fell on the ground.
That happens when you're Italian. You talk with your hands.
That was aggressive. But speaking of aggressive, Marco Scandella got a little too aggressive on taking away the one-timer for Nathan MacKinnon. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to do that. He could have just stayed in the shot lane. Now, he would have had to eat the puck if he passed that puck to MacKinnon and he shot it, but he still would have remained in a position to at least continue to have a stick length away from Rantanen, so he couldn't get that shot off. Colton Parayko on that one, I know it doesn't look good, but it may not be any freaking help either to go skating over and try to move those guys. Now you have three guys in front of Binnington. So sometimes the goalie, not that he has to figure it out, but sometimes the goalie prefers to just let it be because then he knows where those players are. It was a hell of a shot. It was a double screen. But again, I believe the play could have been prevented had Marco Scandella not been so overly aggressive on Nathan MacKinnon. But in fairness to Marco Scandella,
it's Nathan MacKinnon.
Yeah. And once again, in fairness to Marco Scandella, it's Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah.
Two of the best players in the NHL, especially in that situation. You're trying to limit the damage as much as you can. Mm-hmm. I'm not even isolating that play as a problem. I'm not
either, but Jamie, I feel like when you start to pile up these losses for the Blues, you're focusing on the losses. Do you know the overall theme that I'm getting here? It looks much harder than it should be. That's
what are you talking
as a non-hockey guy, Jamie.
In which way are you talking about? Because I want to understand what you're saying.
Okay. So I'm watching this game last night.
Yeah.
I don't expect the Blues to beat the Avalanche. They're not the Blues. Let's just get real here, okay? We're the home of the Blues, but let's speak the truth. The Blues are not on the Avs on their level. We know that. I'm not saying they can't beat the Avalanche on a random Wednesday night at Ball Arena. I'm not saying that. They could. On any given Wednesday night, you could beat the Avalanche. But the Blues are not on the Avalanche's level. The Coyotes game, though, the Vancouver game, last night, it looks much harder than it should. It looks like the Blues are constantly chasing the puck. It looks, when they're moving the puck in their own zone, like a complicated mess. The special teams look complicated, even when they're on the power play. It looks like they're taking 2 extra steps when they need to take 1 step. One less pass. You're talking about, Scandella, where he's got 2 guys. So we got 2 guys in front of the net, and then he's also overcommitting to 2 other guys. What?
Yeah, but you're killing the penalty.
Are the Blues?
You're killing a penalty.
I understand that, but Jamie, why is it?
So you're minus a guy to begin with.
Minus 1 guy. 1 guy.
Yeah.
Not 3 or 4.
No, I understand.
So that's where my frustration
they've
is.
got 5 weapons on the ice.
It looks more complicated than it should, though, in my opinion. It looks like there's always an extra pass offensively. It looks like there's never enough guys defensively, even on 5-on-5. It's like, is the other team playing with 7 to your 5?
Yeah, so let's tap the brakes here just for a second.
You tap the brakes.
Let me just tap the brakes here for a second. After 2 periods, you're down by 1 goal to what's probably the best team in the NHL. And you were even on shots. I'd say and you're on the road. You're playing at high altitude. I'd say that was, at that point, a pretty good night.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Did you think at any point that the Avs in those 2 periods were not in control of the game?
Yeah, in the second period.
You thought that?
100%.
The Avs were not in control.
The Blues had taken over the game in the second period.
Okay.
Absolutely. The first period, I felt like the Avs had the upper hand. I didn't think it was as bad as some people are making it out to be for the Blues. I thought that it was a competitive period. But you're also getting smacked in the face with a Colorado Avalanche team that's just ready to be fired out of a cannon at home. And so the second period, I felt like the Blues turned it on its head a little bit. And then the third period's where the wheels fell off. But there are a lot of things that come into play with that. One, you don't have as much talent as the Colorado Avalanche do. You don't. So it's like any team that you want to pick, whether it's your Cardinals, your Blues, a City SC, like you have these teams where you run up against certain teams, you just, we're outmanned. Doesn't mean you can't beat them, but you're outmanned. And so when the third period came around last night, I felt like the Blues started to slow down a bit, and some of that is because the Avalanche are a really fast team. Some of it, honestly, guys, is due to some of the high altitude, too. You just emptied out the tank in the second period, and it's not an excuse. It's a fact. If anybody wants to do the research, you just Google and figure out all you want to know about athletes that train at high altitude on a regular basis so they can succeed at high altitude. Otherwise, it feels like sometimes like you're trying to breathe through a straw to regain your oxygen out on the ice. I was telling Kerry Davis this earlier. There's a shift I remember, it was like 2.5-minute shift I had in Colorado one time in the second period. I thought I was going to die. It felt like little cocktail straws, little mixing straws.
Yeah.
I felt like I was trying to breathe through that to try and get oxygen. So it is a real thing. And the problem with high altitude is that you don't ever get to fill the tank back up. You feel like you do, but it's only 3/4. Or you feel like you do, and it's only half full. But again, we'll call that an excuse. Okay, fine. It's an excuse. The bottom line is you screwed up on 2 plays in particular with defensive zone coverage. So the one area that everybody has been hyper-focusing on all summer long, all beginning of the season, is the area that failed you in that third period. And it was pretty simple to see. Torrey Krug needs to hold the net front on that goal. Braden Shen is coming back. He's going to provide that backside pressure. The Colorado Avalanche player has a shot. It's there, but you have Jordan Binnington in between the pipes. You really don't have to worry about one shot on goal there. But Torrey Krug, competitive in the moment, not the right play, decides to push down be aggressive like they did last year. And what happened? Exactly what happened last year. The teams find the open player. And it went right to a guy all by himself, goal. Let's fast forward now. Braden Shen turns the puck over down low. And this is on Byram's goal. Sequence of events on this one is a good forecheck by the Avalanche. Colton Parayko closes out Nathan MacKinnon on the wall. Then he makes a small mistake. The small mistake is he lets Nathan MacKinnon get inside position on him after that. The one thing you cannot do with star players is let them regain inside position. You must stay between the star player and the net at all times. So if I'm venturing outside to close a guy out on the wall, I'm hitting him, but I'm not trying to hold him there. I'm hitting him, and I'm backing off now, back towards the middle of the ice, so that now he has to still come through me. Whether he has the puck or not, I'm an obstruction to him. Colton Parayko got caught on the wrong side of Nathan MacKinnon. Braden Shen went to make the pass to Colton Parayko, but it wasn't Colton Parayko, it was Nathan MacKinnon. So Nathan MacKinnon picks up the loose puck, comes towards the front of the net, and you got to respect this guy. But at the same time, Brandon Saad lets Byram skate down. That's his guy. The offside defenseman is the weak side winger's guy. He lets him get body position, and everybody thinks Nathan MacKinnon's going to shoot that puck at that time. Yeah. You have to respect him. He's one of the best goal scorers in the NHL. He passes it over for a one-timer in the back of the net. So those two plays are 2 goals, and they're 2 shots, right? So the save percentage for Jordan Binnington looks crappy on that play. But are you going to blame Jordan Binnington for those goals? Because this is what happened last year. Is the numbers? Well, the numbers don't lie. Well, the numbers would tell me that those 2 shots on goal that ended up in the net that he had no chance on, the numbers will work against him now when you look at that.
Yep.
So those are the 2 mistakes that they made. Those were the major mistakes in the third period that they made, and it's all due to the system that they didn't stick to. Because ordinarily, Brandon Saad should have been down on the weak side in the high slot, taking away the middle of the ice. And then Byram would not have been an option. MacKinnon would have had to have shot the puck at that point. So that's the way I look at it, is you hung in there pretty good for 2 periods. And in the third period, whether it was fatigue, physically or mentally, you let the game slip away.
I think at the end of the day, though, I don't even know if those 2 goals even matter because the offense couldn't score. They only had 1 goal again.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's tough. Like
the power play is a disadvantage right now for the Blues.
It reminds me of this past summer when we would talk about, well, this guy went out there and he actually gave us a good solid start. The pitcher, and it's like, well, it didn't matter because the offense didn't show up.
Right.
It wouldn't have mattered if they did give up 13 runs because the offense scored 0 runs. Mm-hmm. Like at the end of the day, it does not matter if your offense cannot produce. And you mentioned the power play, another 0 for gopher.
It's not good. Mm-hmm. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We are going to talk to Craig Berube coming up at the bottom of the hour. So 2:30, Craig Berube will join us here in the Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Congratulations to the Texas Rangers. They won their first World Series in ever, Bob. They take care of business last night against the Diamondbacks. In fact, they shut them out 5-0. Diamondbacks get 1 in the series. There is one guy specifically that I am excited about, and he already had several World Series titles. Tell you who that is next on 101 ESPN.
Holiday season is right around the corner, and we're all going to want to stock up on some of the good stuff. That's right. Dirt Cheap is your one-stop shop for all your party needs. They've got fantastic inventory when it comes to any kind of beer that you're looking for, and wine. And how about some of those spirits? They've got the flavored vodkas. They've got your Pink Whitneys. And they've got the bourbons. That's right. That's my aisle right there. The bourbons. They've got Bullet. They've got Angel's Envy, Jack Daniels, Elijah Craig. And the best part about Dirt Cheap is they're always looking to get you the best deal on all of these things. So you're getting some of the best names, but you're getting some of the best prices too. And another way to get some of the best deals is to download the Dirt Cheap app. They've got local postings every day where they're telling you what is available, what may be going on special, what might be coming in. And you can also set up a drive-through order. Each location for Dirt Cheap has a drive-through area, and you can set it up on the app to place your order and go through the drive-through, and that way you don't even have to get out of the vehicle. But if you do get out and you head in, please, when you walk in, tell them that Jamie Rivers sent you in, and ask them any questions that you want. They're going to answer them for you. They're going to make sure that not only do you find what you're looking for, but they're going to make sure that you get it for the price that you like as well. So please visit my friends over at Dirt Cheap, and remember, have fun, but be careful out there.
Well, Rangers win the World Series. Judging by the numbers and the ratings, chances are you didn't know that.
What? Was that last night?
Because you didn't watch.
I'm just kidding.
But congratulations nonetheless to the Rangers. I am thrilled for Bruce Bochy. I think he's the best manager of all time. I do. I think he's the best manager of all time. I think he's better than Joe
where
Torre.
you are right now,
I think he's as much respect as I had for every manager that has come through Major League Baseball, okay, including our very own Tony La Russa. Has there been a better manager than Bruce Bochy? Wow. Think about it.
Wow.
Got the Padres to the World Series. Didn't win it. Got them there, though. Different decade, too. Took the San Francisco Giants, a team that did not, I mean, we think about the Giants now. It's like, oh, they had three titles from 2010 to 2014. Boy, they won a lot. They didn't win crap for decades upon decades. You think about the Giants like Willie Mays and then Bruce Bochy's Giants. There was Bonds hitting a bunch of home runs. Got him to a World Series, didn't win it, though. Bruce Bochy, 3 different Giants teams. And then he goes away as a manager for several years. Pops back up in Texas. with a team that has never won the World Series.
Pretty good team, though.
And in the first year of Bruce Bochy becoming the manager, having lost Jacob deGrom, having to keep the team together after a massive slide in the second half. Let's not forget that. They had a fight tooth and nail after leading the entire division that entire first half. Fought tooth and nail just to get in the damn thing. Went on the road to Tampa. Beat them. Went on the road again to beat whoever the hell, Minnesota, or whoever the hell they played in the second round.
That's who it was.
Had to get through Houston, the team that owned them. Beat them, and then had a layup, honestly, in the World Series with the Diamondbacks. But a Diamondbacks team, nonetheless, that got there from...
That was a hard-fought game last night.
Diamondbacks...
Zach Gallen, man.
He was excellent.
He was great. In fact, the Diamondbacks were really good. It's not...
They went. I'm being facetious. They went through the Dodgers and Phillies. It's no joke to go through there. But Texas beat them. First time. You tell me anybody's better than Bruce Bochy?
No, I don't... I don't know.
With all due respect.
Let's just say he's at the table. Okay? I think there's some managers that are pretty damn good, too, along the way. There's probably some that we're not even remembering that,
In our lifetime, how about? Okay? Because you're right. Like Connie Mack and all this. I didn't have the privilege and the pleasure of watching Connie Mack, manage.
Yeah.
But we saw Tony. We saw Joe Torre. We saw,
Dusty Baker's
Dusty Baker.
too.
And
well, Dusty's only got himself one championship, right?
Yep. And he beat him.
Yeah.
Bochy just beat Baker. And Bobby Cox had the pleasure of watching him manage for a long time.
Wow.
Nobody's done. Boch has been unbelievable.
Yeah. I think the fact that he's done it with multiple organizations is the key for me, because I think that when you're in one spot for a really long time and you do it, 2-3 times. I mean, obviously that's super impressive, but it's your team,
right?
Like it's your nucleus, it's your team, and Bruce Bochy specifically in this scenario was handed a team that was already 3/4 put together, maybe even more. Mm-hmm. And said, we need to get across the finish line somehow, some way. And he managed to do that. And I think that his timely decisions throughout the playoff run in particular, because I got to be honest with you here, I know you find this hard to believe. I didn't watch every Texas Rangers game all season long. Yeah. I know. You're disgusted with me right now. I'm disgusted with me.
I told you to watch all of the Rangers games, and this finally you open up about this.
Yeah, I only caught about 47 of them, first pitch to last pitch, but that's okay. I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on it. But he made some really big decisions in the postseason that were probably analytically supported, yet maybe it was stepping outside the box a little bit too because of his knowledge of the game, flat out. And some of the decisions he made are direct results of them winning the World Series.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm not pushing back on what you're saying about Bruce Bochy.
He never had the best team either. If you go back, the Rangers weren't the best team this year. The Atlanta Braves were the best team this year. Bochy had a good team. He didn't have a great one. He made them great. The Giants, when they won in 2010, 12, and 14, they were never the best team. The 2010 team barely snuck in. They snuck in on one of the last days. They had to beat the Padres to win the division, get in. They did. And, we can look back and say, Tim Lincecum and Matt Cain. Madison Bumgarner was 19 when they won in 2010. Bochy was the magic elixir on all. He was him and Buster Posey were like the constant. Bochy, to your point about the Rangers, they had Corey Seager and Marcus Semien a year ago. They had some of the elements a year ago. Yeah. It took Bochy to bring it all together. I think what he did this season and what he's done throughout his managerial career has been nothing short of incredible. And congratulations to the Rangers, man. Congratulations to Jordan Montgomery and Adolis Garcia, a couple of former Cardinals. What?
Nothing. I just think it's funny.
They're former Cardinals.
Well, Monty did. That trade was inevitable.
Yes.
I mean, everybody knew that was happening. And
I wasn't taking a shot. I'm saying they're literally.
But it's just, I think the harder
Cardinals.
one to stomach for people is Adolis Garcia.
Uh-huh.
That, That guy didn't even play the last 2 games, so it can't be that good.
You mean the guy that had 115 RBI in the ALCS?
What did he do yesterday, though?
Yeah, nothing.
You know?
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, guy didn't deserve it. All right, it's a fast line on 101 ESPN.
Stratton, too.
Oh, yeah, Stratton was a part of that
He
deal.
gets a World
Yeah.
Series ring now.
And he was pivotal down the stretch for them. He pitched a lot for the Rangers
Good
out
call.
of the pen. Yep. Craig Berube's going to join us next. We'll talk to him about his team. 4-1 loss last night for the Blues. But we'll ask him some of the details of what he's seeing right now out of his club next year in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN.
At Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, buying a car is always more than just the best price tag. From the moment you walk onto the showroom floor till the moment you drive off the lot with your brand new or pre-owned vehicle, the Londoff Chevrolet team, well, they're going to treat you like family. And Londoff's goal is not just to sell you a car. Of course, they want you to buy a car, but it's to make you a Johnny Londoff Chevrolet customer for life. And how do I know this? Because I've been a customer for over 20 years now. Ever since I got to St. Louis, I've always shopped with Londoff Chevrolet, and they've always taken great care of me. And they have again recently. Just bought a brand new Tahoe from Londoff Chevrolet. And what's great about it is the experience that I had this time is the same as the first time I bought a vehicle from Londoff Chevrolet. It never changes. It's always the best out there. And if you want great inventory as well, they've got 2 locations for you. They got the original location in Florissant, Missouri, and they've got the new Londoff Autoplex located out there in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. Please walk in, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. They love to hear that. But if you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit them at londoff.com or londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues fall to the Avalanche last night by a final score of 4-1. We'll talk with Blues head coach Craig Berube coming up next right here in the Fast Lane, so stay tuned. The Blues will take on the Devils tomorrow night. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. You can catch that one right here on the home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Craig Berube coming your way next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com. and LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Time now for Chatting with the Chief with the coach of your St. Louis Blues, Craig Berube. Brought to you by Fisher Window and Door, your Marvin dealer with showrooms in Brentwood and East Alton, Illinois.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We're going to chat with the Chief, Craig Berube, coach of your Blues, here on 101 ESPN, as we do every week throughout the course of the week. Chief, how you doing today?
Good, guys. How are you?
Good, Chief. Good. Welcome back. Hey, look, last night's game, Chief, I felt like there was, a couple of different stories going on in the game last night. And, from period to period, it seemed like there were different themes at times. For you as a coaching staff, when you look back at the game and you've gone over the video and obviously you're coaching it in the moment, what's your overall take of the game last night from the first period to the second period and then ultimately the third period?
Yeah, I thought our start was good. We got scored on just on a play there where Tucks got caught a little bit flat-footed, but I think and then they got a power play goal. But I thought that the first period getting out of there, I know it was 2-0, but I thought that we battled. We had to kill off another penalty after we called the high sticking and went against us. But overall, I wasn't displeased with the first period or the second period. I thought the second period we got the momentum back in the game. We got a goal. I thought we had a lot of zone time, did some real good things. Just the third period, we two in self-inflicted wounds. We shot ourselves in the foot. They capitalized on both of them. They were unnecessary goals, in my opinion, that we gave up.
Hey, Coach, on that note, you mentioned the two plays last night in the third period. In your losses thus far, do you feel as though there's one or two moments in a game where a mistake is made that if you nullified those, things are a little bit different right now for your team?
Well, that's part of it for sure, but I think it's the mindset more than anything. When I look back at some of these losses, the Winnipeg game, last night's game, and the Vancouver game to a certain extent, but if you look at all those games, they're one-goal games going into a period, and we don't, that's where we got to make a push, and we didn't. Like last night for me, we had a power play to start the third period, and we could have got some momentum out of it, and we didn't. But we didn't make that push that was needed. It's like we make mistakes at the wrong times right now. That's, causing us hockey games.
Chief, if we're going to just isolate the power play for a second here, how do you identify just how important it is for your team to score right now on the power play without adding more, for lack of better words, stress to the players? Because as well as I do, there's some timely power plays that if you get a goal out of it, things look a lot different, but you don't want the players to be gripping the sticks even tighter right now.
No, exactly, and I get what you're saying for sure. You want to score on it, but it's about creating some momentum and some good looks more than anything. I think that's the number one priority right now is creating good looks, and that's key. We're not creating enough of them, in my opinion. Yeah, we get a couple here and there. We're getting some on the power play, but not enough. And I think that there's just got to be a different mindset that we're trying to get across to our players, that we've got to have more of an attack mentality and get pucks to the net and create some chaos. And it's not always going to be a pretty goal. It's going to be an ugly goal, but that could kickstart you too. But I think it's just about creating momentum for your team.
Chief, a lot is made of puck management, and rightfully so. You guys have had some turnovers here, probably more turnovers than you'd like as a coaching staff or as a hockey club. How do you coach that up? How do you get the guys to change that by identifying it and kind of cleaning up the game a little bit?
Well, execution is one. Like, if you watched last night, there's 2 plays on those both goals where it's a simple play out of your zone. But we went for the hard play, and now we turned it over, even if it was in a neutral zone. That team's a quick transition team. Now they're back in our zone, and they created some opportunities and capitalized on them. Like, those are the turnovers that cost you, I think that there's turnovers in every game by every team. But our execution's got to be better. Like, there's plays to be made there that we're not making. That is turning the puck over. That, for me, is right now the most concerning thing, right? Like, just execution with the puck, making plays, and that goes, and that's confidence at times too. I think our team's a little bit unconfident with the puck right now. You could see that in the power play too. So, it's just about getting some confidence here and start executing with the puck a lot more than we are.
Coach Craig Berube joining us right now on the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Chief, building off of that, is there ways to simplify? I know hockey can be very, it's an easy game when you know what you're doing, but it can also be very complex. Is there a way to simplify things in every facet of the game to build that confidence?
Well, predictability and structure are really important, and I think that, for the most part, we've had a lot of that in games, but when you get unpredictable and your structure kind of, goes out the window on your routes and things like that, that's where you get the turnovers and the execution poor, So for me, like, if you want to be a good team that executes and makes the right plays, and it's about being predictable to each other and knowing your routes and running your routes.
Chief, you switched up the lines a little bit for last night from the prior game in Vancouver. I'm always fascinated in the line-making process. And so for you guys as a coaching staff, obviously I heard you talk about wanting more balance throughout your lineup. You didn't get the win last night, but did you get enough looks as a team to where you feel like, hey, I'm going to run it back with this group? Or is it time to continue to kind of, tweak the deck a little bit till you find what you're looking for?
Yeah, I don't know if it's all about looks all the time. It can't be all about offense. It's got to be your whole team game. I'm not probably going to make any changes for tomorrow's game. We played one game. I liked a lot of things in the game, and there's some things I didn't like. But, I think it's a little early to jump the gun already.
Coach, you got 4-game homestand coming up here. What are your expectations for this team, for this home game, for this homestand? Anything specific that you want your guys to accomplish?
Well, we're just going to focus on tomorrow's game, to be honest with you, Revs. That's the only game I'm concerned about right now is tomorrow. I'm not going to look ahead. I'm just looking about tomorrow. What we need to do tomorrow, what we need to do tomorrow to be successful. That's it. It's that old cliche, take one game at a time. It's the truth. Just focus on tomorrow's game. We need a 60-minute effort against a real good team. It's going to be a hard game. I'm just focused on that game.
Chief, we appreciate you joining us each and every week throughout the hockey season. We always feel like we're, maybe not for Jamie because he knows everything, that. But for somebody like me, just to kind of get that knowledge from you, we appreciate it. And I know our listeners do as well. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Enjoy coming on the show. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
We'll see you. We'll talk to you next week. That's Craig Berube here in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. Well, they got a big challenge tomorrow, as you said. A good team. Jack Hughes comes in.
Talented. We put to the test, man.
Absolutely.
They are. It's no joke here. You also have a schedule following the Jersey game. You also have a schedule that lends some games to you where you should feel like they're winnable. And I think that's important, too, is the Blues, they have to string together a couple of wins here, start to get that feel good within the locker room. Mm-hmm. And then it's amazing what that can do sometimes for a team.
Well, Chief talked about it, building confidence. Yep. Building a little confidence. One goal goes in, you get one of these breakaways that you actually capitalize on. and all of a sudden maybe becomes a snowball effect where you feel good about
I'd
it.
be shooting the puck a lot, man. If I was guys, I'd be shooting it from everywhere now. Just because. Why not?
Right.
If it hits off a leg and goes in, and all of a sudden you're starting to feel good about it.
Hey, look at Parayko's shot in the first period last night. Clanks off the post.
Hit a post,
yeah.
too.
So some of these, it's not all bad luck. It's not all, let's not make excuses here. But if some of these things start to go the Blues way as opposed to opposite, maybe we're looking at a different situation moving forward. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Let's get into some football. Let's take a peek ahead. Starting with tonight's game, you got the Steelers and the Titans. Not a ton of storylines here, but as we
got Will Levis, man.
So you got the greatest
Dan
quarter.
Marino Jr.'s playing tonight.
You got Dan Marino Jr. playing tonight in Pittsburgh, his first road game. And then we'll expand it to other storylines next in the NFL on 101 ESPN. So tonight you have the Titans and Steelers, and Will Levis, otherwise known as Dan Marino Jr., will be looking to be the fourth quarterback in Tennessee franchise history to win his first 2 career starts, along with Steve McNair, Brent Pease, and Jackie Lee. And I remember, Jamie, you said Jackie Lee, one of your favorite quarterbacks from the 60s.
Yeah, it's Bruce's brother.
Bruce's, brother, absolutely. I don't think so. He's also, Will Levis, Dan Marino Jr., third quarterback in NFL history to throw 4 touchdowns in his first career game, joining Marcus Mariota and Fran Tarkleton.
Well, at least there's some...
Tarkenton, excuse me. I had an L there. Tarkleton. I had an L. Tarkenton.
You're probably thinking of Spencer Torkelson.
Probably. Yeah, Torkelson. From the Tigers. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes those guys get mixed up, you know? Both very popular in their own respective ways.
Absolutely.
Sure. I took the Steelers tonight. I don't feel great about it. I took Pittsburgh, short week, home team, but I don't trust the Steelers as far as I can throw them. Here's the thing, though. Titans off a win? No, thank you. I feel like the Tennessee Titans exude, like, they put so much into their victories that the following week they lay an egg. Like, it takes them so much to win a game that the following week, forget about it.
I don't even know what to say about that. Don't even know. That you just made that up.
We can go over this.
You just made it up.
I feel that way, but let's look at the receipts here. They beat the Chargers 27-24 in overtime. The following week, lost to the Browns 27-3. They beat the Bengals 27 to. It's the exact score, same score, 27-3. They beat the Bengals. Following week, lost to the Colts 23-16. They beat Atlanta 28-23 last week. They're going to lose tonight.
I agree.
I've got them winning.
Rookie QB on the road.
I think that's exactly why they're going to win. Rookie QB on the road, doesn't know any better. He's playing with house money, doesn't care. I think he shoves tonight. And I think the offense is built to help him. I think Derrick Henry is going to help him. I think he's going to get some help from the receivers. I see this as a Titans win tonight.
They should, honestly.
Kenny Pickett has been less than desirable, so.
You know what's funny? Kenny Pickett's banged up. It doesn't even matter. That they're not going to. The Steelers.
Was it Mitchie Football finished last game, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did.
It's the
couple
defense.
Of picks.
That was great.
Yeah,
the defense is why I'm picking the Steelers tonight.
When check out this stat. This is remarkable. The Steelers have been outgained in every single game this season.
Is that bad?
Yeah. They are 0-3 when they score 10 or fewer points this season.
Well, yeah, it usually goes hand
Which
in
makes
hand.
sense. They're 4-0 when they score 10 or more points. So if they can get to 13, they probably win 13-10 tonight. But these are two at the best mediocre teams. Now, if you're the Titans, you're a Titans fan. If you can win on the road, you start to feel a little good about things. Jamie's got you. He's backing you up.
I am.
He's backing you up. This is a rough week in the NFL.
Yeah.
Kerry and I did our Gridiron Guys podcast today. If you look at some of the matchups, now the Cowboys and Eagles, fun. Bills and Bengals, fun.
Dolphins,
Chiefs, absolutely fun. That's the early game on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Even the Seahawks and the Ravens, interesting matchup. But then the rest of it is filled with Commanders, Patriots, Bears, Saints, Colts, Panthers, and Giants, Raiders.
So are we doing our picks now, or we do that tomorrow? I forget when we do our pick'ems.
No, we do our picks.
Andrew looks
disturbed.
doing
them today?
Yeah, we're going to do them today. We'll do them a little bit later on in the show.
Because I have a few things I want to bounce off of you.
So who when you look at all these matchups, okay? What's the team that you're hoping to learn about this weekend? Like, you look at all these matchups, what's the team you're hoping to learn about? Because for me, there's a couple, but I want to learn about Kansas City.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, you're 6-2.
I wasn't thinking about that. You're
6-2. Your lone loss before last week was the Lions, and with the way the Lions have played, you're like, oh, okay, you know, hey, if we're college football, it's a good loss, right, to the Lions. But your offense scored 17 against Jacksonville. The Bears game doesn't count. The Bears are basically a Sun Belt team at this point. You beat Zach Wilson and the Jets 23-20. You barely got by the Vikings with some help by the refs. You scored 19 points against the worst defense in the league in Denver at home. You beat the Chargers. Like, it has been a slow. What do you say about the Blues? Sometimes they become you say thank you. They become disconnected. Mm-hmm. This offense seems disconnected.
Oh, it certainly does.
They should be better. But the running game, Andy Reid doesn't stick with it, even when it's working. Travis Kelce's your only big threat. Rice is starting to come about, but he's a rookie. Then you got Sky Moore and Kadarius Stoney, which are basically the same guy. They're guys that you have to get involved around the line of scrimmage for them to be effective. McCole Hardman, you just acquired again, who's basically Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Like, they're Jags, right? Just Watson, That's the Chiefs' offense. Yeah. And then Mahomes. So I would love to see Kansas City, like, this be the week that this offense starts to hum. Because this defense is good, like, legit good. They're going to get tested by Miami. But this is the week I would like to see. It was a slow build for Lamar and the Ravens, and we're starting to see that offense hum. I wonder if this is the week for the Chiefs. So I'm looking forward to that one.
I hope it's not. I have the Dolphins.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Didn't you take Miami, too?
No, I took the Chiefs in this one.
Carey, I think, took Miami.
Yeah, I took the Chiefs. The one game that I'm interested in, and it's to find out about this team, if they're actually back or not, is the Bengals.
That's another good one.
Because they're playing the Bills. The Bills are at 5-3. The Bengals at 4-3. A lot of things get flipped on their head here if the Bengals pull off a victory. And the way Joe Burrow's been playing here recently, like, I wonder, like, is this back to where we thought it was going to be, or is it not? Is it fraudulent?
Yeah.
So for me, that's the game that I want to learn something about.
I told Marsh I'm interested to hear what team you want to learn about. But building off of what you said about the Bengals, I told Kerry Davis this. The Bengals, for me, are the boogeyman. Okay, and I've been saying since the preseason I don't believe in the boogeyman.
Oh, you should.
He's not scary. He's not under my bed. I don't have to worry about him. Everybody else can worry about it. I don't have to worry about him. Okay, I don't believe in him. And then when they went out to Arizona and Joe Burrow started to look like he's healthy again, I heard a rustling under my bed, but I'm like, nah, boogeyman doesn't exist.
He's hiding in the closet, actually.
After last week when they went to San Francisco and absolutely owned the 49ers, I looked under the bed and the boogeyman said, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Now I got to face my fears. The Bengals are back. I've been crapping on this team since the preseason. They're alive, they're well, and they're haunting my dreams. What's the team you're looking forward to learning about?
The Seattle Seahawks. They're a first-place team right now, and I think that's partly due to the fact that the 49ers are crumbling at this point. But they take on the Ravens, who are a really good ball team, ball club. But I think that's going to be a massive test to see where the Seahawks actually fare in the NFC West and just in the NFC as a whole. We'll see what Geno Smith can cook up against the Ravens. They're on the road, so they'll be in Baltimore. So it will be a tough test for them, but I want to see if they're a legit number one team in the NFC West.
What do you think they are?
I think they are well, this is tough because preseason I said they were a first-place team.
Yeah, you kind of like Seattle.
I kind of like them. I kind of like it, even though I did not pick them last week.
So your heart has been with the Seahawks.
My heart has been there with the Seahawks.
What are your eyes telling you?
My eyes are telling me that they're not there yet. They're not there yet. I feel like they can be, but they're not there yet. They have good weapons. I mean, they have DK Metcalf. You have Tyler Lockett. You have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Kenneth Walker. You know, their defense is okay, but Geno Smith is the question mark. If Geno Smith can play like he did last year and not turn the ball over like he has been so far this season, I think they can be a first-place team in the NFC West, especially if the 49ers can't get their stuff together. By the way, speaking of the 49ers, I saw a graphic today on Twitter. You mentioned how bad they've been when it comes to being down. They need a lead, right? I believe Kyle Shanahan is 1-31 when the 49ers are trailing in the fourth quarter, into the fourth quarter.
There you go. I'm glad you brought that up. That is a team that is not designed to come back in games. Even not all offenses are created equal. We know the 49ers have a good offense, but they're not like Kansas City, or at least the Chiefs team prior to this year that we were used to seeing, where the Chiefs can come back. Or it's that like Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they can come back. The 49ers and the Dolphins absolutely, unequivocally have to play with a lead. That is the way their defense, or their offense, is designed. So that's a 1 in 31?
1 in 31.
That's an incredible statistic. Eesh. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We will do our NFL Pick'em Challenge picks later on in the show because Marsh is out tomorrow. Jamie's only in for half the show. We will also build our sleeper teams, and Jamie's already got his ready to go.
Yeah, I got work done.
I'm
this
ready
week,
to steal the picks.
Yeah.
I'm up 3-1 on you guys.
Every time.
Jamie's going to go first because,
Marshy does nothing but take my picks.
Exactly. All right. Chris Kerber is going to join us in 15 minutes, but let's talk about the Cardinals next. What's the least the Cardinals can do this offseason to make you optimistic for 2024? You can always leave us a mic drop on this, too.
Please do.
Via the 101 ESPN app. What is the least the Cardinals can do? The least the Cardinals can do to make you optimistic about 2024. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, Thursday night football. We love that. We love Sunday afternoon. We love Monday night. We just love football. We love betting the NFL, too. That's right. And no better place to do that than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, FanDuel has an offer for new customers. You get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. Yeah,
what?
It's real. Anthony, it's real.
All I have to do is win.
Yeah, you bet $5 and win. You get $150 in.
And it's a money line play.
It is.
So, I could take the Ravens this week.
You could.
Don't even have to cover the spread. They just have to win.
And you have to bet $5.
Come on. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time than to get in on the action right now. The app, it's easy to use. They get the spreads, the player props, the over-unders. They've got same-game parlays, and they got promos like the one Jamie just read to you. Visit FanDuel.com/fast. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. Take advantage of this deal from FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 and over, present in Illinois. First online real money wager. Only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus. Best that expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
3:04, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. One of the Cardinals fans on Twitter, Marsh, actually stumbled upon this. His name is @Kyler416. Says, obviously, we have both skepticism about the Cardinals offense or offseason and our wish list. My question to you is, and it's not a shot at the front office or ownership, but it's a thought experiment that has me. It says, what's the least the Cardinals could do this offseason to make you bullish for 2024? I like the word choice for Kyle here, a bullish, because that, of course, is a Moism.
Yeah.
So that's the question. What is the least the Cardinals can do this offseason to make you optimistic for 2024?
For me, the least would be to go get
Shohei Ohtani.
Well, no, yeah, okay. No, I think someone like Aaron Nola or Blake Snell, and then backfill the rotation. Like, that's the least they could do. So that Michael's...
So one of the aces.
One of the aces, and then Michaelis would become your de facto 2, Matt's 3, and then you'd add another guy in there somewhere. You'd add another number 3 in there somewhere, and that's it.
Okay, so...
That's the least. You said that's the least.
So you're... okay.
Or am I interpreting the question?
No.
Because if you really want to know my least, I want Sonny Gray and Aaron Nola and a back end of the rotation guy, and I want Shohei Ohtani in the middle of my order.
You're doing it great. What I'm interpreting, though, is... So when you say that, my response to you is so you won't be optimistic for 2024.
No.
Like, you're not going to be optimistic.
No, but it's at least I'll be able to look at that and go, you know what? At least they got an ace.
Yeah.
Like, this season's going to be painful too, but always next year. At least Mo finally spent some money and got an ace.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's
like,
finding...
It's not what I want personally.
I know.
It's the least they could do to at least make me feel like they're trying to move the needle.
But the least is finding an ace.
Yeah, but what do we really think is going to happen?
Not that.
You're going to go find like 3 number 3s and stock the rotation.
That's correct.
I know. So that's why an ace to me would be at least he did something.
Yeah. I think for me, it's signing signing or acquiring 3 starting pitchers that are not Drew Verhagen type, at the very least.
You're on that Puff the Magic Dragon stuff there. There's no way he's signing 3 guys or acquiring.
You just said that the least you could do is get an ace.
The least, yeah. He's not getting 3 of them.
I'm not saying 3 aces. I'm saying 3 starting pitchers. I feel like you're extending the bar way higher than I am. You're saying at the very least get Blake Snell or Aaron Nola.
I got some expectations for this team, you know? I'm just gonna
I do too.
I'm gonna Rich Hill this thing to death.
The expectations are they mucked up a couple of years ago, and they're not going to fix it in one offseason. That's my expectation.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the truth. They did.
Yeah,
they mucked this thing up badly. You're not going to fix this in one offseason. That's not realistic.
You could.
We can all, cry about it. We can all complain. We can all yell at them, but they mucked up. You traded two top-end starters for 2 years of Ozuna. Think about it that way. For each year of Ozuna, you gave up an ace to watch him scale the wall in 2 different years.
Well, he went to the NLCS in 2019, Anthony.
You certainly did.
Let's go Glover.
Certainly did. But you did that one trade set you back 10 years. Forget a Rosarina. That trade set you back 10 years.
I know.
We'll sit here, what would the outfield look like? What would the outfield look like if they had Randy? Your pitching sucks. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Complain about the outfield. How many outfielders do you need? There's only 3 spots. You don't have pitching.
Whoa. We need at least 6, maybe 7.
Turn the infielders back into outfielders.
You know that.
Let's hear from Andrew. Left us a mic drop.
The least the Cardinals can do for me to feel optimistic that things are finally going to change is for the Cardinals to do nothing. Because if they do nothing and they say, this season was just a one-off, we're going to run it back again, well, obviously we know that it's going to fail epically once again, and that might be what it actually takes is a second failed terrible season for changes to actually be made. For the DeWitts to tell Mozeliak to pack up his stuff and leave, to get rid of all the other analytical stuff from the front office. I think it's going to have to, and it's going to suck, but it might take another season of terribleness in order for us to make the changes necessary, like what the Rangers have done the last 2 off seasons, to get back to, actually competing for the top of the NL and not just, let's just try to squeak by and get in and see what happens.
You may not like it at all, what he just said, but Andrew's right. It might take that. It might take that because of what we just talked about. You screwed up badly. And to think that this team is going to, because you want them to, and I'm with you on this, okay? The expectation is, hey, you screwed up, fix my team in one offseason. It's probably not going to happen. You screwed the pooch so bad on this that it's not going to be able, you're not going to be able to fix it in one offseason. Because you don't control free agency. We like to think they do. We like to think that our team, and Mo, boy, you better get this right in free agency. It don't work that way.
Why not?
Well, Jamie, see, here's the thing about human beings. Human beings come with all kinds of things. One of them is free will. You know? We come with free will. So somebody like Blake Snell or Aaron Nola,
yeah,
they don't have to come here.
What?
Yeah. They can operate on
I
their own free will.
totally see St. Louis being Blake Snell's type city.
You do you?
No.
You don't think he'd like the free zoo? I mean, they're making signs. They're making signs for City SC, the monkeys. You didn't see that? I think they can make one for Blake Snell.
They're now called the Monkeys?
No,
the City SC Monkeys?
The monkeys at the zoo revealed a support sign for City SC for this upcoming match.
What did it say?
Go City SC?
Yeah, something like that.
Win or we'll throw our
something zoo
feces at you. You know, monkeys do that.
Let's get bananas.
Let's get bananas. Pretty good. The squirrels all got together, too. Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. How about these nuts?
As a fan,
so stupid.
Going back to the Cards, honestly, I would rather this team be bad again if they would be good for the next 5 years.
You don't mean it.
I do mean
that.
No,
you don't. Andrew, I've seen the highs and lows of you this last year. There's no way you go through another season like that. Remember Marshy for a while there?
Oh, man.
It was like Eeyore walking around here.
Jamie, you didn't see what I saw. I've brought this up. You didn't. Marsh, Jamie, you did not see what I saw that day.
Where was I?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're doing that day.
I don't know, but wherever you were, you're lucky to be there.
Yeah.
Marsh and I had to be here because Jamie decided to take another day off.
Probably.
And Marsh on that playoff, I saw this kid. He was so high after
He was electric.
The Juan Yepes home run. He was I couldn't believe it. I didn't think human beings could do this. He was walking on air. And I'm like, wow.
I was
so happy for this kid. And when Ryan Helsley came in, he started calling it.
Mm-hmm. I did. I almost called the entire inning.
Started saying the walk to Harper.
Mm-hmm. Anthony was so positive.
I was positive.
It pissed me off.
No, you
I thought I was incredibly. Well, Jamie, honestly, I went into dad mode. I did. I feel like
you can't handle another season.
I feel like
because the expectations were there. If we have no expectations, I'm not going to be upset.
Our show, I feel like, is just a brotherhood. Jamie, the oldest child. I'm the well-adjusted middle child, and Marshy's the younger brother. But in that moment, I didn't think
You're the screwed up middle child.
I didn't think you caught that. I didn't think you catch that. But in that moment, I thought to myself, I got to go into dad mode here, and I got to tell him that everything's going to be okay. The Cardinals they're going to get through this inning. They're going to be okay.
You lied.
And when they didn't. when they didn't, there was nothing I could do. The guy was shattered.
That's why I say you can't go through a year like that.
You're
There's
right.
no
How do you-
way.
I mean, right now it's just tough.
No way.
It's tough. I mean, my favorite quarterback just
Snapped his Achilles.
snapped his Achilles. Now we have Taylor Hall throwing passes.
Yeah.
You know, the Blues can't put together 2 good games together.
True.
You know, the Cardinals, I mean, thank goodness they're done playing. But
Can't break it.
next
Can't break
week
his heart.
next week should be fun.
All right, speaking of the Blues, let's give it to Chris Kerber. Chris Kerber's going to join us next. Talk a little Blues hockey here on 101 ESPN.
If you're remodeling your kitchen or your bathroom, please head over to E&B Granite. They have got you covered for everything that you might need. I got a beautiful showroom located down at 6135 Manchester Avenue. And when you walk in there, the representative is going to ask you questions. You know, what are you looking to accomplish? And is it a bathroom? Is it a kitchen? Is it strictly countertops? Are you looking to do backsplash, cabinets, like whatever it is? E&B Granite is there to help you out. And so for myself, it was just a kitchen counter and backsplash. Didn't really know what I wanted to go with. Didn't even know what kind of countertop I wanted to go with. And so we took a walk in the back, and that's where I got to see all the different countertops, from granite to quartz to marble and even soapstone. And it was fantastic. It's great because you get to see the entire pattern, and then the representative, helps you get a visual as to what the layout's going to look like, and then the execution of it all is super, super easy. They get in there, they measure, they rip out all the old stuff, install the new stuff, answer any questions you have. They make sure that you know the proper aftercare for your countertops. And again, if you have any other questions, they're right there to answer them for you. So please get in there and tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. If you can't get there in person, call them. Book an appointment. 314-645-9300. That's 314-645-9300. Or visit enbgranite.com.
Ride with the voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber. Brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
It's a Fast Line on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to our 101 ESPN Celebrity Line. We're joined by the voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber, right here on your home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Kerbs, what's up, man?
Anthony, how are you?
Oh, not great thus far. I'm a little frustrated by our Blues, Kerbs.
Don't let it frustrate you too much. It's early.
Yeah, Anthony.
No, I'm frustrated, guys. And I want to be frustrated because I believe this is a playoff team, Kerbs. But thus far, we haven't seen it.
All right, let's flip the script and I'll do a little interviewing for a moment. How's
Please,
that?
let's do it. Here we go. All right.
Okay. All right, Anthony. Well, we want to welcome everybody back into the program. Joining us on the Celebrity Line, Anthony Stalter, covering the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
Anthony, what were your real expectations for the first 10 games of the year?
Well, Kerbs, I thought that coming into the year that they were a playoff team. I thought we'd see more consistency thus far. But I thought, honestly, the special teams were going to be a lot better. And with the focus and the emphasis on the defense throughout the course of the offseason, I thought the defensive structure was going to be a lot better.
All right, what's bothered you about the defensive structure?
Well, as I've watched this team play, I feel as though that there are still too many opportunities in front of the net. I still feel like there are too many, there's too much open ice. I feel like there's points where, like Torrey Krug last night, too many opportunities where guys are overly aggressive in spots and it cost them, or not aggressive enough in spots and it has cost them. I think the overall frustration, though, if I'm being honest, is the fact that I thought this was going to be a balanced team offensively, and we haven't seen enough offense. So maybe my expectations were unrealistic.
I don't know about my co-host Jamie here, but I don't want to be accused. I don't want to be accused from others in this town of being a soft media market, not asking the hard-hitting questions here.
Sure.
So, in all reality, Anthony, what in the world did you expect when you're playing a team like Colorado and it's a first overall pick at center, a 10th overall pick on the right wing, a 4th overall pick in your top D pair, a second, 4th overall pick in your second D pair, and you're playing with a 20th overall pick at center, a second round pick, and on the right wing there, and another second round pick in on the left wing with Pavel Buchnevich, and your top D-man this year has been Colton Parayko. He's a 3rd round pick, and your goalie's a 3rd round pick.
Kerbs, can I be like some of our texters right now?
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, you role play as much as you want.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's music to his ears, Kerbs.
I expect perfection every night. I don't care who the opponent is. This team won in 2019. Where's that team?
Well, that team is playing for a lot of teams around the National Hockey League right now.
Some of that team's still winning cups.
No, Kerbs.
All joking aside, yeah. I'm with you. Listen, all joking aside on that, I'm watching that game last night, and look, there's just a reality here. And this is a thought I had, and I don't know if you guys have had the same one, Jamie and Anthony, on this, but like I'm watching the way the Avalanche play, and they are so well coached with the style of play that Jared Bednar brings, and he's got 2 fantastic assistants in Nolan Pratt, and I was able to catch up with Ray Bennett for about 15 minutes before after the morning skate yesterday. Like, Blues fans, in my opinion, deserve a chance. Blues fans deserve another superstar. Okay? And, but to get there, there will have to be some pain. Now look, does the superstar come in the 10th overall pick in a Dalibor Dvorsky? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Does it potentially come in a Jimmy Snuggerud? Maybe, but we're trying to find superstars because the Blues have been so successful for a 15-year period. You're trying to find superstars in the late first round, in the second round. You're hoping that a second round or a third round really come through and take over. And have you seen that? Yes, you do see that from time to time. Do you see it? Kirill Kaprizov. Do you see that happen all the time? No, you don't. The question is and I'm watching Colorado, and at times, a couple years ago even, when you're looking at 4 of their top 6 were their own top 10 picks, and the Blues have had 1 top 10 pick since 2008. I feel for Blues fans because I want them to see that, but again, there's still enough talent on this team that I don't think that's going to happen, and it's going to come from superior drafting and scouting. And I think we saw last night we saw a team that is in transition, which the Blues have been very honest about, playing against a team that is still a championship caliber window team of winning a Stanley Cup. And that's the reality of last night, I thought.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all, Curbs. But if you're a Blues fan right now and you're listening to exactly what you just said, which was bang on, by the way, how do the fans get through this period of time? Because based on what we know is that the Blues are going to have to be really, really bad then to acquire some really high picks, or go out and spend a whole bunch of money to try and bring somebody in, or try to create some kind of a trade that probably won't be possible. So it feels like there's no real changing it. And I think that's what people tend to get frustrated with.
Well, that's where you're going to have to buy some time. I thought Joe Vitale last night in our hockey halftime, and this is really quite fascinating. Go look at the first 4.5 to 5 full years in the league for Nathan MacKinnon and compare him to the numbers of Robert Thomas. It's going to open your eyes. It's going to open your eyes. You're going to go, whoa. After 5 years in the league for Nathan MacKinnon, there was talk in Colorado as he was playing in a third-line center role sometimes of is he really worth a first overall pick? And it wasn't until they moved Matt Duchene out of the way that he really took off. And keep in mind, again, Nathan MacKinnon at the time then starts playing center, and he's got Landeskog on his left side and Rantanen on the right. That's 2 first overall picks and a 10th overall pick, right? I bring that up because it just takes time. And you're talking about Robert Thomas in his 6th full season. You're talking about Jordan Kyrou in his 5th full season. But you're also talking about 2 guys where 2 of those seasons were marred with COVID, weird stuff. Like there's just part of it. And I think we've seen a stall in some development around the league across the board because of some of this stuff. Look at Pettersson in his 5th year now with the Vancouver Canucks, right? It just takes some time and patience. And even, if you're a Blues fan, Jamie, you're going to be excited to watch what Dvorsky does this season in junior hockey. And I suggest everybody keep an eye on Snuggerud and what he's going to do in Minnesota. You're looking down in the minors now, and you're just going to watch the continued development of a Zach Dean and a Bolduc. And you have to have some hope that those guys come in and do it. But even when they do, as you've noticed, it's taken a good number of years to rely on Thomas and Kyrou, and that's going to happen with these other guys. It's part of a process, but I think what the Blues have done is still given you a good enough product to be excited about and that can be entertaining enough to come watch. And I know, look, they're 1 game under 500. They've only played 8 games this season. And I want to tell you something. If that power play was going at all, or even if you got just that one timely goal with better execution and puck play, you're probably looking at a team that's 5-3 and with 10 points on the season, sitting 3rd and 2nd in this division. Yeah. I really believe they have that opportunity.
Curbs, I appreciate you letting me be the irrational fan for a couple of minutes and you hanging with us nonetheless.
It's therapeutic. Every now and then I even have to do it, and as Jamie will know, like we all kind of, sometimes we do it on the road, like in a bar when nobody sees it.
Yeah, well, it's good, but it's good though. It means you have expectations. If it's like, the whole hum, then you don't have expectation. I expect this team to make the playoffs. Now, I'm not. Well, I don't think they're going to go anything further than that. But I think a rebound coming off a non-playoff year. I do think that this team is good enough, talent-wise, and well coached to make the playoffs. But
guys, I really thought they were going to come back and potentially win that game last night. Going at the end of that second period, I thought and even when it was 2-0 halfway through the second, I asked Joe. We were talking about during the break. I said, Joe, this game has that feel of a comeback. And yes, it didn't happen, but I just think that, there's two ways of looking at it. Watch the team. Keep your expectations realistic, because the Blues have been realistic with how they've told you what their plan is, and go from that. And in the worst case scenario is a season drifts away like last year did a little bit, and you end up with another high draft pick. And frankly, in the long term, that's not a bad thing for right now.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. I mean, I know fans may not want to hear it. Hell, management may not want to hear it. Somebody in the front office may not want to hear that. But I think this team has the talent to compete for a wild card spot. If it doesn't happen, I don't have a problem if they get a high enough draft pick to continue the transition process.
Very true. Absolutely. Kerbs, have a great rest of your week. We'll be listening tomorrow night as the Blues take on the Devils. Pregame starting right here on 101 at 6 o'clock. Thanks.
All right, guys. Have an awesome weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Chris.
That's Chris Kerber here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Did the Cars miss out on another superstar? We'll talk about him next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues fall to the Avalanche last night by a final score of 4-1. We talked earlier today with Craig Berube, head coach of the Blues, and we just got done talking with Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, right here on the Blues Radio Network. If you missed any of those interviews, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com, or you can check out the free 101 mobile app. It's free. Remember that. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
Is it free?
It is free, Anthony. So check out that mobile app. The Blues will be back in action tomorrow, taking on the Devils. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. And last night, the Texas Rangers won their first World Series. They defeated the Diamondbacks 5-0 in Game 5. Corey Seager was named MVP. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It was definitely a drawing point for me. I won in LA and they hadn't won in 30 years, and I saw what it did to a fan base. And when I found out that they had never won here, that was something that intrigued me. To be able to start at the bottom and try and build something and compete, and to be able to do it, it's really satisfying. But it was a lot of trust. A lot of trust from them to me and me to them, and a lot of trust for Marcus to come. A lot of trust for John. A lot of all these guys that came here and had the same vision. It's pretty cool to see it through.
That was Corey Seager of the now world champion Texas Rangers. It's Fast on 101 ESPN. So the Cardinals miss out on another superstar. They had an opportunity, if they wanted to sign Corey Seager a year ago. But you heard him. What did Corey Seager say? It was interesting that they hadn't won before. I was drawn by that. Mm-hmm. This is where that whole free will thing comes in. Guys can sign wherever they want, Jamie.
To that.
Besides, if you want me to repeat myself, Jamie.
Please do, Anthony.
Here we go again. What position does Corey Seager play?
Well, ultimately you'd like to have him at shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
here I'd put him in center field.
I don't know why, but I didn't see that coming. And Jamie, that was utterly brilliant what you did. Guy plays shortstop. Love to see him in left, though. See Gold Glover at second. To hell with it. Put him in center. He don't pitch, though. Right? He doesn't pitch.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, he might in the 9th inning.
Maybe in the 9th when they're down 16.
Or when they're up 16.
When they're up 16.
Never know.
Yeah. I want to see the Cardinals spend their money on pitching moving forward. They did the position player thing. It didn't work. It didn't work at all. And everybody, myself included, is complaining about the lack of an offense, especially in wake of the 2019 NLCS. We all got what was coming to us. You don't want to admit it, but you were one of them, Cardinal fan. You wanted more offense. Give us more offense. You saw what that got you when a team flat out ignored the pitching or gave up pitching it had to get more offense. We all got what was coming to us this year, which is a nice last place finish and a horrible season. I want to see them spend money and resources, not just money in free agency, but the resources into pitching. Build the greatest pitching staff in the league. Then we can talk about beating some of these other teams. Did they miss out on Corey Seager? Maybe, if he wanted to come here. Focus the resources on pitching, Jamie.
Yeah.
Then you can turn as many infielders into outfielders as you want after that.
I
don't care after that.
I don't think that's a great plan. But no, I agree with you. I mean, you have an area of need, and it's not just the rotation. Your bullpen needs work, too. So,
amen.
Like your scouting staff and your front office, and all boots on the ground when it comes to player signings and scouting. It has to be that way. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, the big names are easy. It's easy to circle Nola, Snell, Sonny Gray. Oh, those are easy. You know what I mean? Where it gets difficult is now finding the names that can either round out your rotation or go to your bullpen. Because it's not sexy to build a bullpen.
No.
It's not, right? Because you have to find specific pitchers that you think can slot into a specific spot in the game. What is best suited for pitcher X? Well, he's more of a, fifth, sixth inning, give you 2 innings if you need it be, get you to the next one, or he can get you out of a jam, like whatever it is, until you get to who do you think could potentially be a closer, a setup man, all this stuff. So there's a lot of research that goes into players or pitchers, rather that the casual baseball fan has no idea who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. We know the Cardinals bullpen because we're in it every day. Do you know the bullpen in Kansas City?
Absolutely not.
For the most part, we don't. But those guys are huge pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't say nobody, most guys don't pitch past 5 innings anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So just under half the game is going to your bullpen.
Yep.
So you probably should put some resources towards your bullpen too, because they're going to be carrying a lot of the weight. And if you have a lead, you'd probably like to hang on to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just the rotation for me.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Look at Arizona. Arizona built a damn fine bullpen when it was all said and done. Why did Arizona beat the Dodgers ultimately? They did 2 things. They had better pitching, and they hit home runs. Why did Arizona beat Philadelphia? In the end, they had the better pitching because Brandon Fod outpitched Aaron Nola. And I don't mean like head-to-head. I just mean overall in the series.
Yeah.
They had better pitching, and they hit home runs. That's how Arizona did what it did. We like to complicate the hell out of everything. And we like to only view what we just saw and overlook the things that are tried, true, tested, all that crap. The Texas Rangers got excellent pitching, and they hit home runs. That's what it's going to take. You already have guys that can hit the ball out of the yard. Can they do it in October when it matters? I don't know. But they need to rebuild. Jamie, you're absolutely right. They need to rebuild the entire pitching staff. And until they do that, they're not going anywhere. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Let's get to our Sports Six-Pack. Next here. If you have a question, 314-399-9646. Send it in. We'll do our Sports Six-Pack next in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by Maggie O'Brien's, your go-to Irish pub in St. Louis for over 42 years.
I know what's going on here today. It's bizarro world.
It's a Fast Lane on 101
Did you
ESPN.
have too much coffee today or something,
No.
Anthony?
Yeah, it's in a good mood.
You're all fired up today.
Yeah. Been in a real good mood today.
Oh, you have been. I'm not disputing that.
Oh, the morning started off a little rough, too. Walked into Lincoln's room and flipped on the light. He'd puked all over himself. I'm like, this isn't good.
Another long night for Lincoln, huh?
He was out. He's partying.
Gets
All
around
that candy.
All that candy.
It's around all those preschool kids. That's what happens.
He didn't even go to preschool.
I know. He likes older women.
He was going out with them.
Candy and crayons.
He turns 2 on Saturday, so he's feeling a little bit I can do whatever I want now. Yeah.
I can finger paint. Watch.
Watch this. All right, Marsh, what do you got for our Sports Six-Pack?
Question number 1.
From the 636, could the Stalter Clear It Academy, also known as the Stalter Clear It Camp, help with some of the blue line turnover issues?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I think when Jamie,
honestly, it would fuel into it.
Jamie, if I may. Jamie, if I may. You do your thing, okay? I know you got the SynergyHockeySkills.com and Synergy Hockey Skills
Black Friday
your
camps
camp.
available.
Absolutely. Now, and listen, we're not competing. We're not competing with our camps.
No, we sure aren't.
So,
yeah, you guys are part of the same team.
No, we're not.
No?
Well, he made it clear that he didn't want the Clear Camp under the Synergy Hockey Skills umbrella, and that's fine,
We're
Jamie.
certainly not
I respect what you do, okay? But if I may, when I'm watching the Blues, what I don't see is their ability to clear the puck out of their own defensive zone quick enough. It's leading to a clunky transition game, and then, I mean, forget it. Nobody's trying offensively out there. But it starts, Marsh, without... It starts on the back end.
It really does.
They're not clearing it.
No,
I mean, they're spending too much... Correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie. They're spending too much time in their own defensive zone.
They are.
What happens when you clear it? You get the puck out of your defensive zone.
High and hard off the glass.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then who gets the puck?
That's where you got to chase it down.
Oh,
That's the next camp.
That's the chase it down camp.
Correct. We're trying to. It's been difficult. No offense, but from guys like you giving us so much pushback on this, it's been difficult to get the Clear camp up and going.
Yeah.
But I do have visions for the chase it down camp next.
Let me help you out a little bit here.
Not that I need it, but that's okay. One professional. Yes, absolutely. One professional to the other.
So, Anthony, in your clear it out at all cost.
No, it's just clear it out camp.
At all cost.
Clear camp.
Your campaign here. You're basically throwing the puck to an area that you don't really... It's not a very predictable play for your teammates, and you're giving the puck back to the opposition. I don't think that's what you should be doing right now, but I like where your head's at from an overall concept of getting the puck out of your end.
Thank you.
Now, the quickest way to do that is not to fire it off the glass every single time you get it. Every now and then, it works. It's a necessity. You're under pressure. You make a smart play. Best way to do it would be like puck support, be available, and make a pass tape to tape.
The alley-oop is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
I saw that in Mighty Ducks 2, D2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, good call.
Yeah.
Now, Jamie, can I ask you a question?
Oh, please.
See, for me, what I vision as we start to build on this clear camp is not just clear it out of your defensive zone, but clear it off of the boards or the glass perfectly to that F1 streaking down the other side. So what I'm thinking here is we bank that mother blanker off of the board or the glass, and you get that frozen piece of rubber on an angle, and you got that F1 streaking on a 9 route.
We've seen that work with Torrey Krug and Vladimir Tarasenko last season.
the defense is, I mean, you're not playing defense. You're playing offense if you're the opposition, right? So you're not even expecting it. So boom, ricochet off, and you got that 9 route going down the other side, okay? Perfect pass. You're already behind everybody, and now you got a clear breakaway.
Yeah.
And you could do this over and over and over again.
You know what, Anthony? You're 100% right. I mean, the other team will never catch on to it. And the percentages of you executing that play are high every single time.
Well, if you got the skill and the camps to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good start, Anthony.
Man, I think we should have a Anthony Stalter's power play camp.
I think it's the same.
You running an umbrella?
Mixes together.
An umbrella? Is that what you're running?
That's my defense. I'm running a shell. I'm running a shell defense. Hey, two guys up high. I want to give the what's the area right past the red line there?
Oh, I don't know. It's your camp.
Right past the red line?
Yeah.
The neutral zone?
No, going into the offensive zone.
The offensive zone?
You get
the blue line?
Okay, you got the high, you got the slot, you get the high slot. What's the area up the top?
In the zone or out of the zone?
In the zone.
That's high. What are you talking
At the point.
Yeah.
The point.
Yeah,
okay.
you call it top of the key.
Don't confuse him.
I'm giving them the top of the key, okay? They can shoot as many 3-pointers as they want. But I got coverage on the boards, and then I shell it from there. Okay? So I got protection right there in the middle. 3 guys basically. Middle, sides, shell. I call it the shell defense. They think, man, we got the entire middle of the ice here. They don't. Not one bit.
Zig while everyone else zags.
Shell defense. I got more for you guys. I've been working on some stuff.
Yeah.
Question number 2.
We may only get 2 questions because the 618 has a question.
Okay.
Where is my Cardinals press conference? I think we got it for you.
Yeah. It's Drunk Mo. Go ahead, Jamie.
I can tell you something. I don't care if Montgomery and Maddox won the World Series.
Maddox. I forgot about him.
That guy didn't want to be here anyway, so... Yeah.
You don't want to be a Cardinal.
No, you don't want to do this. What the Rangers got that we don't? Apart from pitching and hitting and
Recent World Series.
I don't know what the hell we're going to do in the offseason, but we're going to get something.
There's your blank and press conference.
You're going to love it. See you next year, folks.
There you go. 618, you're welcome.
Question number 3.
Next text we get from him is, I'm glad this is a joke to you.
Glad losing is a joke.
Losing is a joke to you.
Wait, hang on.
We haven't lost in a while.
True.
There's literally a text at 3:23. I'm glad losing is funny.
He's got staples. He's got set texts in his phone.
Oh, yeah.
He just like taps the button and like that.
Yeah. As soon as we start having a little fun, he's all over that.
He doesn't like fun.
Nah.
He must be great at parties.
I think he is.
Yeah, he's probably not invited.
That's not true.
Oh, come on, Jamie. Anyways, from the 815, who would be harder for you to part with in a trade? Brendan Donovan or Lars Nootbaar?
Lars Nootbaar. I think Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, I would say Nootbaar too.
Because you
kind of have a version of Donovan and
you may have a better version of Donovan
and Tommy Edman.
No, and that Sajisi.
Oh, he hasn't played the big league level yet.
No, but you may. That's why I said you may. I mean, Brendan Donovan
don't get snippy with me.
Okay, you've had your fun. You just calm down now.
Okay.
Brendan Donovan came out of relative obscurity too.
Just dadded me.
I did. I say enough. It's literally something I say to my boys.
You totally just dad. I could tell.
When they like try to talk tough to me in public or something,
You've had your fun.
I let it go, and then I'm like, all right, you've had your fun. Like, that's enough. We're done. But Brendan Donovan came out of relative obscurity. So you're like, oh, where'd this guy come from, right? At least this Sajisi, is that how you say it?
Sagasi?
Somebody say, I've heard it both ways. So whatever. He absolutely dominated minor league baseball last year. Every level he played at, he was really good. So who's to say he's not the next Tommy Edman / Brendan Donovan? And you've got the other guy that they traded for as well.
Right. You got two more Brendan Donovans.
The percentages tell me that I'd rather hang on to Lars and move on to the next Brendan Donovan-ish player that we have.
Yeah, agreed.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm grinding.
I missed that.
Question number 4.
Grinding?
I missed that clip.
You missed it both.
Missed that clip because, I just don't miss the lineup game.
Gotcha.
Because that got awful at the end there.
It was interesting.
Jamie, real quick here from the 636. What is your favorite Mark Bergevin story / prank? #BurgerVan.
Oh, wow. There's a couple of Bergie stories that were great. One is when we were getting ready to go on the road one time. Bergie took all of the sticks out of the stick bag and got into the stick bag himself naked and had one of the assistant trainers zip him in there.
Wow.
And so we're getting ready. It's always a bit of a panic. We practice and the trainers are grabbing the stick bags to get on the road. And
oh boy.
Bert Godin, who was our equipment manager at the time, he goes to grab the stick bag. And they're heavy. So he's picking up, and it's weird feeling. So he's what the hell? So he unzips it, and Bergie comes flying out of the stick bag naked at him.
Wow.
Scared the living bejesus out of him. So that was kind of funny. There's another time we were playing in Phoenix in the playoffs. Was it Phoenix or was it LA? One of those series, and Bergie was hurt. And so, you have the team bus that leaves the hotel, and Bergie lined up about a half a mile down the street. Nobody knew about it. And he dressed up as a super Blues fan, with hair and painted face and had a big sign, "Let's go Blues." It was Bergie that did it. So that was kind of funny. And Berge, too, you get out on the road, and Berge was like us, Anthony, had a pretty big nose. Mm-hmm. And he loved to order a cappuccino with the whipped cream.
Yeah.
And so he would take a sip and stick the tip of his nose into the cappuccino and then pull it out and leave the whipped cream on his nose, but act like he didn't know.
Yeah.
And then he'd go talk to some random girl. Be like, "Hey, how are you?" Just talk, or some other dude.
Yeah.
Be like, ask about the stock market, and people looking at this guy's serious? Yeah. And he wouldn't break character. And then he'd take another sip and dip his nose in it again and just go on his merry way. It was great.
That's awesome. All right, we need a Gauntlet participant today. So if you want to text in to 314-399-9646, the word Gauntlet, you have an opportunity to play one of us today here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
3 warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit masstour.com.
4:04. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Time for the Gauntlet, and we welcome in Mike. What's up, Mike?
How we doing?
We're doing great today. Would you like to, first of all, welcome into the Gauntlet. First time? I jumped right in. I was very rude there. Yeah, I was ready to go.
Fired up about the clear cam.
I'm very excited about a lot of things we just unearthed with the clear cam. Mike, first time in the Gauntlet?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, welcome in. Would you like to take on Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, or me today?
Let's take him on Jamie today.
All right.
I feel like I'm the target here recently. Mike, is there anything in particular that you don't like about me, or is there anything in particular that you do? Maybe dislike a lot about me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you're just a well-rounded guy.
Oh, he's being nice, Anthony. Yeah, but that's tough because now I feel bad. Like, I like Mike now.
I feel like he Trojan horsed you a little bit.
A little bit. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Yep.
All right, Mike. Good luck, my man.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, Jamie's going to make his way into the cone of silence. Mike, you're going to tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
All right, Marsh, spin that wheel.
What category are you hoping for, Mike?
Doesn't really matter. Not a huge fan of random.
Not a huge fan of random? You're okay with hockey then, huh?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Well, Jamie always gets this category, I feel. It's foosball.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. You feel good about it. As Marsh is getting us our launch codes, 4 questions, all football to Mike. Same 4 questions, all football to Jamie Rivers today. Each question is worth 2 points unless Mike or Jamie ask for the options. And if they ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
Okay. Chiefs wide receiver McCole Hardman went to which SEC school? Which SEC school did McCole Hardman attend?
Let's go with the options here.
Was he an Ole Miss Rebel, a Georgia Bulldog, or an Alabama Crimson Tide?
Let's go Ole Miss.
Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question number 2. Which Minnesota Viking currently leads the team in receiving yards?
Oh, man. I'm going to have to take the options on that as well.
Options are Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, or Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Mike, question 3. Mizzou will have 3 games left after they face Georgia this Saturday. Of those 3 games, only 1 will be a road game. Which team do the Tigers play on the road after they play number 1 ranked Georgia?
Alabama.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 4. Emmitt Smith played 13 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. He played 2 seasons after his stint in Dallas. With which team?
Arizona Cardinals. Final answer.
Okay. Well, we'll welcome Jamie back in from the cone of silence here. Mike, how you feeling?
All right.
Okay, we'll see
could
how.
Be better, could be worse.
All right, fair enough. Jamie's making his way back in from the cone of silence. Jamie, how was the cone?
It was populated today. We had Bradford Bruns in there, and we had Tanner Hendrickson, myself. The heat was cranked up. I feel like it was trying to get me off my game.
It was a little sauna action for you?
Yeah.
Well, you're back in the meat locker, so.
Thank you, Anthony.
Jamie, are you ready?
Sure.
The wheel spun. Football for you. Football is your category.
Let's go.
Question number 1. Chiefs wide receiver McCole Hardman went to which SEC school?
Oh, yeah, that one. I'm torn between a couple. Let's narrow it down.
All right.
Give me the options, please.
Was he an Ole Miss Rebel, a Georgia Bulldog, or an Alabama Crimson Tide?
So was he a Rebel, Crimson Tide, or a Bulldog? I have no idea, really. Cole Hardman. I feel like he was a Alabama Crimson Tide.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2, which Minnesota Viking currently leads the team in receiving yards? That's the question.
I know. I feel like this is a Trojan horse question. I'll go with Justin Jefferson. Final answer.
Mizzou will have 3 games left after they face Georgia this Saturday. Of those 3 games, Jamie, only one will be a road game. Which team do the Tigers play on the road after they play number 1 ranked Georgia?
I believe they go to Tennessee, don't they? So you have 3 games following the game to Georgia?
Mm-hmm. Which is a road game.
So let's try to remember who the hell they have here. I believe that I saw it that they were going to Tennessee. Yeah, I'll say Tennessee. Final answer.
Say it right.
Tennessee.
There we go.
Question number 4.
I do not feel good right now about these. Don't smile, Marshy.
I'm not.
Smirk.
I love that hat, by the way, Marsh.
Thank you.
Hey, he gives a little crap-eating grin behind the mic over there. He's laughing at my failures.
He is.
Let's just see how this thing plays out. Question number 4. Emmitt Smith played 13 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. He played 2 seasons after his stint in Dallas with which team?
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, I do, but I can't remember. I think I remember. Boy, this has not been fun for me. Give me the options, please.
Options are the Cardinals, the Lions, or the 49ers.
The Cardinals. Final answer. I'm disgusted.
All right, let's go over these. Mike versus Jamie today. Emmitt Smith played 13 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. He played 2 seasons after his stint in Dallas with which team? Jamie, you went with the Arizona Cardinals. Mike, you went with the Arizona Cardinals. Correct answer is?
It is the Arizona Cardinals.
But Mike did not need the options on that one, so Mike has a 2-1 lead over Jamie today. Chiefs wide receiver McCole Hardman went to which SEC school? Mike, with the options, you went Ole Miss. Jamie, with the options, you went Alabama. Correct answer is?
It is Georgia.
He was a Georgia Bulldog. So Mike's still with a 2-1 lead. Mizzou will have 3 games left after they face Georgia this Saturday. Of those 3 games, only one will be a road game. Which team did the Tigers play on the road after they play number 1 ranked Georgia? Mike, without the options, you said Alabama. Unfortunately, they don't play Alabama. Jamie, without the options, you said Tennessee.
To Tennessee.
And they do play Tennessee. Marsh, should they play them on the road?
They do not.
No.
It is Arkansas.
Arkansas is the team they play on the road. So Mike, still with a 2-1 lead over Jamie. Comes down to this. Which Minnesota Viking currently leads the team in receiving yards? Neither of you. Actually, Mike, you did use the options. You went with Jordan Addison. Jamie, interesting choice. You went Justin Jefferson, even though he's been out 3 games. So Jamie with Justin Jefferson without the options. Yeah. Mike with Jordan Addison. Both of those guys were options. TJ Hawkinson was an option too. Again, Justin Jefferson hasn't played in weeks.
How many targets that guy has this year, though?
Jordan Addison, 7 touchdowns. They both have over 50 targets. Jefferson with 53, Addison with 52.
This is how it's going to work.
Have you seen the yak, though, on Jefferson?
If it's Jordan Addison, Mike wins today. If it's Justin Jefferson, Jamie wins today because he decided not to use the options. If it's TJ Hawkinson, again, Mike wins. So Jamie's going to need this to be Justin Jefferson, who hasn't played in weeks. Mike.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
It was Justin Jefferson. Still Justin Jefferson. My man didn't play in a while. It doesn't matter.
Whoa. Yes. Justin Jefferson with 571 yards receiving. Jordan Addison, 482.
Jamie wins today by virtue of that question. 3-2 over Mike. Sorry, Mike.
Don't worry. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Have a good one, man.
All right, you as well.
Jamie, I was waiting for the walk-off until you heard the Cardinals there at the end. So even though the Cardinals won it for you, even though you couldn't think of it off the top of your head, you knew it right away.
As soon as I was like, "Oh, son of a," because you try to picture them in the uniform, and I was like, picture him, and then as soon as he said Cardinal, I was like, I remember now.
Mm-hmm.
The one question I have though is, I beat Mike 3-2, right?
Yes.
I'll find out later if I beat Ashley's son, Reed. Reed is listening to the Gauntlet right now.
Okay.
He is an encyclopedia of knowledge.
Does Reed want to participate in the real Gauntlet someday?
I'm sure he'd love to.
Well,
We'll have to run that up the food chain, though.
So
check
Mom.
with the authorities, see what if he's allowed to.
Sure.
But I don't want him to pick me. He's going to bury me. This kid knows so much stuff.
We'll face him against Marsh.
Oh, yeah. Marshy and Rito Burrito. That'd be a classic.
Why you gonna do that?
Because he's a great kid.
He's a great
Marshy.
kid. And we know what you do to great kids.
Yep.
We know it. Okay? We don't even have to talk about it. We just know. All right, nice job there, Jamie. Hey, let's get back into these Blues. What was the one thing that? Let's do it.
Let's talk Lakers Clippers.
Yes. LA, baby.
We're gonna talk about the Blues after
James Harden.
After we hand out some Blink 182 tickets. 101 ESPN, that's us. We have your chance to score a pair of tickets to see Blink 182 at Enterprise Center on August 10th. But you got to answer this trivia question correctly first.
The question is, name the song where Tom, Mark, and Travis run around naked in this particular song's music video.
There you have it. If you have the correct answer to this question, text it now to 314-399-9646. You got to be the 101st texter with the correct answer for your chance to win free tickets to see Blink 182. And you can also find a bonus chance to register to win tickets to see Blink 182 at Enterprise at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. What was the one thing that caught our attention earlier from having Chief on? We'll tell you next on 101 ESPN.
If you are currently looking to sell your home, here's who I recommend. That's Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And let me tell you something. If you're very serious about selling your home, you have to give Gloria a call and ask her about multiple cash offer program. And what happens there is you get cash offers quickly, eliminate the hassles of open houses, costly repairs, time on the market. With Gloria, you have options, and you can get to choose the best cash offer. And if you're a home seller, there's good news for you. The market is still in your favor. Even though the holidays are here and we're unsure and whatnot, you can't necessarily time the market perfectly every single time, but when you have Gloria Liu working for you, that's what she does best, is she figures out what the best time is for you to sell your home, what the best price is, and gets you to the closing table. So please give Gloria a call today and tell her Jamie Rivers sent you. That number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. If you missed anything from our show earlier today, including our chat with Chief, you can always download the podcast at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app, all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. One of the things that Chief was talking about earlier today was, well, we'll just let Chief tell you, because this is one of the things that really caught our attention. Jamie, you specifically.
I think it's the mindset more than anything. When I look back at some of these losses, the Winnipeg game, last night's game, and the Vancouver game to a certain extent, but, you know, if you look at all those games, they're one-goal games going into a period, and we don't, you know, that's where we got to make a push, and we didn't. Like last night for me, we had a power play to start the third period, and we could have got some momentum out of it, and we didn't. But we didn't make that push that was needed. You know, it's like we make mistakes at the wrong times right now. That's, you know, causing us hockey games.
Yeah, he's not wrong. There's several opportunities throughout the first 8 games of play here for the Blues that were missed opportunities. And a lot of it surrounds the power play.
Yep.
Because you've got games where it's scoreless and a power play goal puts you up by 1. You got games where you're down by a goal and the power play goal ties you back up. You got other games to start the third period, gets you right back in the game, and it's a missed opportunity. Mm-hmm. So it's not just not scoring on the power play. It's not scoring on the power play in times of need. Mm-hmm. And that has to change. They got 1 goal all year on the power play. Yeah. It's got to change. They've got to create more. They've got to create more offense from it. And yes, they had some better looks yesterday. But man, maybe it's an old school approach, old school thought process. But when your power play's struggling, take the options out of the hands of your players. And all that means is pound the puck to the net. Put 2 guys in front, 1 guy in the slot, have 2 defensemen up top, bopping that thing back and forth and just hammer it. Just hammer it. If someone gets in the shot lane, hit the bumper guy in the middle, get it back, pass it over, hammer it again. And just keep going until something goes off something into the net for you. Mm-hmm. But then if you're going to play that way, then you have to be absolutely hungry on loose pucks. You have to have solid puck retrieval. Because shooting the puck going to an area and then you not retrieving it, is no different than just passing the puck to the opposition.
Sure.
So hungry to get to the front of the net, shot first mentality, and then the hunger to get those loose pucks afterwards.
Here's what Chief had to say when we asked him about the Blues power play.
You want to score on it, but it's about creating some momentum and some good looks more than anything. I think that's the number 1 priority right now is creating good looks, and that's key. We're not creating enough of, you know, in my opinion. Yeah, we get a couple here and there. Like we're getting some on the power play, but not enough. And I think that there's just got to be a different mindset that we're trying to get across to our players, that we've got to have more of an attack mentality and get pucks to the net and create some chaos. And it's not always going to be a pretty goal. It's going to be an ugly goal, but that could kickstart you too. But I think it's just about creating momentum for your team.
Yeah, so there you have Chief talking about an ugly goal. Well, those count too. They count all the same. It doesn't matter how you put the puck in the net, it's a goal. Mm-hmm. But I do like what he said about creating looks, and looks is the new terminology for some of our listeners, because over the course of the years, a scoring chance has turned into a look now.
Yeah.
Don't know why they've changed the verbiage, but it doesn't matter.
It is what it is.
We're gonna just let the listeners know that means a scoring chance, so that when they hear it in the future, they'll know what we're talking about. So creating good looks is important. What does that create? Confidence.
Mm-hmm. It's what he talked about.
Yeah, it lets you know that you're able to create these opportunities. Because for a while there, it felt like the Blues couldn't create anything. Mm-hmm. And they weren't. The first 2 or 3 games, it was like, woof. Like, not even getting shots on net. Never mind a look. It's not even a shot. So, yes, the power play has... The problem is that the power play hasn't scored. If you'd mixed in a goal or 2 in the last 2-3 games, it would look better. You'd be like, yeah, you can see it's on the uptick. Well, the power play is on the uptick, but you have nothing to show for it right now.
Which is hard to then say that it's on the uptick.
100%. Well, they're not scoring. It's not good.
Yeah.
And I have no pushback to that, except for the eyeball test for me, when I look at it, it looks at least more organized.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that part of the problem is face-offs and zone entries for the Blues?
Oh, the face-offs are one thing. Zone entries for sure.
Like, how can they fix that, though? Because it seems like, and they're not the only team that does this. I'm not a huge fan of the drop pass and then the guy skates it in. I'm sure a lot of people don't like that. That's just my opinion. I'm sure there's reasons why teams do it, and obviously they do it because it works at some points. But I just feel like they're so flat-footed heading into the zone that by the time the one guy tries to make a move at the blue line, it's either getting broken up or they have no speed heading into the zone to retrieve those loose pucks.
Yeah, so the drop pass breakout is actually formulated to catch the other team flat-footed. And so the purpose of it is to come up with speed, and this is where it gets lost a little bit, is it's so methodical now. It's like everybody knows it's coming. The original version of it was to have the defenseman pop out with speed up the ice hard and then get to the center ice where usually that's where you dump the puck in or do something and then drop the pass back to another player who's circling down below him to come with full speed to get the puck. So what happens is the defending team has to respect the initial puck carrier. So they have to back off. And they back off all the way to their blue line. But now the puck gets bumped back 15, 20 feet to a guy with full speed. And now you're sitting there like a dead duck. You're like, what now? Right? And so you were able to find seams to either enter with puck possession or just come up and flat out just chip it ahead and skate past everybody and get it because they couldn't maintain their speed. So that was the original version of it.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah. And so, but what teams did is they got smart defensively, and they'd layer their forwards to the neutral zone now. So the first guy would cushion only to the red line and then force. So now if you wanted to drop pass it, you had extra pressure. So now you've got the double drop pass. So you got one, and then the next one cross ice. And I don't mind it because most teams now are trying to cut the ice in half with their first or two forwards in the middle of the ice is angling, and then the second guy angles too. So you have to almost hinge it. So you drop pass all the way back, and then you change puck side, and then there should be a 3-on-2 on that side of the ice. Even 2-on-1, 3-on-2, depending on how you get your guys over there. And your blue line guys are not supposed to stop. They're supposed to stay in motion, kind of cutting across the blue line, so that when the puck enters the zone, they have speed. But again, it's timing, it's execution. And that's why when Chief talks about we're not executing, that's just one of the ways that they're not executing is the timing. That's why I said at the beginning of the season, the routes. People don't understand how important it is. Like when they ice the puck, it's not in your best interest to cut the route short. It's like some guys think, well, I'm just going to do my quick loop and get up the ice. Well, no, there's a reason why you're timing your loop or your regroup is to create that advantage. And when you screw up the timing in one spot, it screws up the timing for everything. Because your defenseman now is looking for a play that maybe is there, isn't there. You're 10 feet ahead when you should be back 10 feet. And then it creates a certain amount of chaos. And then chaos always works in the favor of the penalty kill. Anytime that there can be chaos created, the penalty kill gets the advantage. So that's why it's important to be poised with the puck on the power play, be confident, and execute your patterns the correct way.
That's Jamie Rivers. That's Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. If you got a hot take or hot garbage statement for us, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. We'll play hot take or hot garbage next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues looking for a win tomorrow night. They lost to the Avalanche 4-1 last night. They will take on the Devils tomorrow at home. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We talked earlier today with head coach of the Blues, Craig Berube, as well as voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, Chris Kerber. If you missed those interviews, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. The Texas Rangers won the World Series last night in 5 games with a 5-0 victory over the Diamondbacks. Corey Seager was named MVP. Tonight, we have Thursday Night Football. It's the Steelers taking on the Titans. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN with the pregame starting at 6:30. We have Hot Take or Hot Garbage coming up next. If you have a hot take, send it our way to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Hot Take or Hot Garbage coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Time to play Hot Take or Hot Garbage here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. This is where you send in a sports take, and we tell you whether it's a hot take or just pure hot garbage. What do you got there, Marsh?
From the 636, hot take. Goldie is at a downhill slide, and Mo should have traded him at the deadline or should trade him in the offseason while he still has value.
Well, Jim, you know how I feel.
Go ahead.
That's a hot take right there, baby. He's 37 years old. He probably still will have another good year. But what about in 2 years? And you need pitching more than anything. Now, will he waive his no-trade clause? No, I don't think so. But that's a hot take. Could have traded him for pitching even before the trade deadline. Didn't. Will you trade him this offseason for pitching? Probably not. So, this is what you're just gonna have this Paul Goldschmidt for another year and then probably extend him and still not get any pitching. By the way, Brad Thompson texted in, is this true or pro?
Come on, Brad.
Jeez. Actually different. It is different.
It's way different.
Way different.
As far as Goldie's concerned, what do you, and this is just extending the conversation for a second, what do you get for Goldie? With a year left on his deal, if you wanted to trade him at 37, like, what level of pitcher do you think you get? For real. I'm talking Paul Goldschmidt right now.
For 1 year?
For 1 year. Basically a rental.
You'll probably get somebody that is established but not an ace.
Okay.
Maybe a number 3 right now that could be a number 2 heading into next season.
Okay. I'm just wondering what the value would be. I'm not saying he's valuable or he's not. I'm not making, I don't have a stance on it. I'm just trying to figure out if it would actually be worth the Cardinals, kind of thinking about it.
And I'm not trading for prospects. Then he's got more value for you. I'm trading him for
an established that's why I don't
starter.
That's why I don't like your answer.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, if I'm trading an established Paul Goldschmidt, I'd like to get an established number 2 pitcher at least.
Mm-hmm. Would you do it for an established number 2 pitcher? Because don't forget, you free up a spot then too. Maybe you kick Jordan Walker to first, get him out of the outfield, get one of the other infielders out in the outfield, and then you're good there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard for me to fathom trading Goldie.
Meat also texted. Sounds like true or poo. Guys.
Meat.
Guys.
I miss meat.
It's just different.
It is. It's just different. And if you can't hear it, then we can't help you.
Yeah. All right. The next one.
Did you trade him?
I said I have a hard time imagining that I would trade him.
Okay.
I'd have to know, you'd have to tell me.
Boy, get off the fence. Make a decision.
Shush your face for a second. You'd have to tell me who the pitcher is. You couldn't just say an established number 2.
All right.
Anthony, as much as I know you like a good old established number 2, okay?
Yeah.
I'd still like to know who that is.
Okay.
All right, guys, from Thanks Dad, hot take or hot garbage.
Unbelievable.
100 grand bars are the best chocolate bars and deserve more respect.
Hot
take.
Hot take.
Hot garbage. Those things are
awesome.
terrible.
What?
They're terrible.
You don't like
I
them
wouldn't
because
even
your
use
teeth.
them.
Some of your teeth are fake, and the nougat gets stuck in there.
Most. Okay, Anthony, if you're trying to hurt me today, go ahead.
I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to spit facts.
Did I just get a brand new tooth put in about a week and a half ago? I did, and I like it. I like to keep it, too. Hot garbage. I'd use it as a doorstop.
That's a hot take.
Wow. Those are so good. I had my first 100 grand bar
Blew
a few
your
days
mind.
ago. It did. Blew my mind right out of the water.
Nougat, little rice.
Yeah.
Crispy,
Absolutely.
whatever up top there.
Little John
That's solid.
Nougat Hopkins.
Absolutely.
Well played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Guys, can I be honest for a second?
You don't know what it is?
I've never had one. You know I'm telling the truth now, too. You know it.
The fact that you said you'd use it as a doorstop makes it even more funny then. Unbelievable.
From the 618, hot take or hot garbage, the Bears and Panthers aren't as bad as everybody thinks, and the Chiefs and 49ers aren't as good as everybody thinks.
Whoa, that's a double-part question. That's a little much for the fast lane.
It's a double-barrel question.
I'm going to go with hot garbage. I realize
it's both hot take and hot garbage.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like the top teams are never as good as you think, and the bottom teams aren't ever as bad as you think because the NFL is just there's not a lot of separation. But boy, you picked out some really bad teams. Panthers and Bears. I mean, the Bears are very bad. So
yeah, they're terrible.
I'm going to say hot garbage on that. I understand where you're coming from with like the Chiefs. They got some warts, and the 49ers obviously got some warts as well. But come on.
I'm praying for that.
That checked out. From the 314, hot take or hot garbage, the Cowboys should only be allowed to wear white at home. It's stupid when other teams do it.
So here's where I am with the whole uniform thing. Okay? Yeah, I've got a couple of different ideas.
All right.
So when I came into the NHL, we wore white at home.
And they need to go back to that.
But why can't you do like half the season? So like I don't understand. The NHL wants to sell more jerseys and they want to do all that stuff. Why at the 41 game mark? Why do you not switch it? And then the second half of the season, you wear your home or your road, whatever it is. Like so for the Blues, they wear their blue jerseys all the way up until game 41 of the season or their halfway point for home games. And then they switch to the white for the second half.
Yeah,
and that way there too, you get to see the uniforms of the other teams. I don't know why they don't do that. It's an easy marketing thing to sell more jerseys because if I see the blue jerseys all the time, I see the white ones on TV.
Right.
But I don't, if I'm not in those, I don't like, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's a good call.
So that's my stance on that. The second part with the NFL, they're missing out on the logos on the front. We talked about that. Just these crappy numbers all over the place. Logos on the front. But I don't mind them mixing it up from time to time. I like the other night. What was your temperature on the Detroit Lions? All
Terrible.
gray with those blue
horrible
chrome domes there.
I don't like them. I like the Thanksgiving versions of the Lions.
So I loved the blue helmet. The blue chrome I thought was awesome. The gray was too bland.
Yeah.
If you're going to have the bougie, the bling, then have the gray, but then have some of that bright white and bright blue on the uniform too to pull like all together. Like fashion is my hidden passion.
I'm seeing this right now.
When it comes to sports uniforms.
Yeah. Typically the teams that play in warm weather like to have the white at home and then put them in.
Really? They're that soft?
They do.
Well, the Falcons all in black. That's one thing that probably sucked. But they play in a dome.
They play in a dome. They're fine. Yeah. Although when they played the Titans last week, I'm thinking this. The Titans were in the blue and the Falcons were in the black.
Yeah, because the Titans were
neither
the
of
Houston
them.
Oiler uniforms.
Yeah.
That's why they were
But why
in the
did the
blue.
Falcons go all white then?
Probably because it was too bright of a blue.
Well, the other team had white pants on too. Can't have white pants on white pants.
Why? Desmond Ritter doesn't know which team to throw to?
He already is confused. It's a good
point.
Going back to the Cowboys' white uniforms, I know they're a staple in the NFL. They're iconic. I think they're dumb.
I don't like silver pants.
What's wrong
They're
with
not
you?
even silver. They're like silverly blue.
Wait, which
Plus,
ones?
they're not even the same color.
The Cowboys.
He hates the
He does.
Cowboys.
I hate the Cowboys.
But tell me you don't like those. Tell me you don't like those Thanksgiving uniforms
Those
that they
are
wear
great.
sometimes. Those are awesome.
But because
with the white helmet with the blue star
they actually match.
and the blue and the dark blue jersey. You've seen them, right? The Cowboys
yeah.
alternative.
They're great.
The old school ones.
I like their helmets
Yes.
now.
I don't know why you're looking
I
at
don't
me
know
like
either.
that. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm like trying to convince you. You're like, I'm with you.
I'm like, I'm right there with you, man.
Their white uniforms are white with the blue stripes with black lining on it. Where on earth do they have black in there?
Where on
in
earth
their
did the St.
logo?
Louis Blues have red in their jerseys? Why do we
Yeah.
have to deal with that, Marshy?
That's a good point.
You know what? I will say there's red in the St. Louis flag, so I'll give it that.
But to Jamie's point, you
but
just snuck in some red for no reason.
But the pants don't even match. They don't even match the gray.
No.
They're all different colors.
I'm with you.
It's stupid.
I'm with you.
And I hate the team.
God, I love I love the Cowboys.
There it is. How about them Cowboys?
I love them Cowboys.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Speaking of Cowboys, are we picking them this week against the Eagles? NFL Pick'em Challenge next on 101 ESPN. With Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter, and our guy Stewie is back right now. And Stewie, I know that you wanted to talk about something that we typically don't talk about a lot of times when we bring you on.
We want to talk about investment property. So whenever you go and buy a house, okay, for investment, those nest eggs, you're trying to get some better cash flow in the future. One of the challenges that we have with everybody is, hey, my investment property is in an LLC. It's in a company's name. And every time I try to get financing, I can't get financing because it's not in my name personally. What can we do about it? Well, number one, we now have a program for you if you want to keep that house in an LLC. We'll go a step further. A lot of people come in and say, hey, I'm self-employed. I got investment property, but I'm writing everything off. I'm not showing income at all. So how can I get financing for it? How can I refinance, take cash, or buy that property? Well, now we have a new program that allows you to get a loan based on the income of that property. We don't care about your personal income. We care about the rental income on that property. So we have two new ways to get investment property to create that nest egg that wasn't there before. Give us a call and we'll tell you all about it.
IPP, baby. That's what we do around here.
Nice.
Stewie's our guy, and he's going to help you out with everything that you need when it comes to debt consolidation, refinancing, home purchases. He's our very first call every single time, and it needs to be yours. And he gives out his personal cell phone number. That number is 314-324-4440.
Again, that number, 314-324-4440.
If you can't remember that number or you need more information, what can they do, Anthony?
Well, Jamie, you can always Google the bagel loan. Thanks, Stewie.
NMLS number 226715.
1051 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick them.
NFL Week 9. We're going to do our pick'em picks right now because Jamie is in for 2 hours tomorrow. Dan McLaughlin filling in for the other
They're
two.
going to be really good 2 hours. So.
Yeah, no doubt. And Andrew Marsh, he decided to take the whole damn day off.
What the hell? What?
Yeah.
What
now, what are you doing that's more important in the fast lane?
Yeah. Like, divulge.
Yeah.
Well,
unless it's something really personal, then we...
No, it's not personal. Have a little bachelor party tomorrow.
In Minnesota?
No. Right here. A little bachelor.
Your bachelor party?
No, not
Jamie
my bachelor party.
Congratulations, Andrew.
But part of that will be partaking and watching the Blues take on.
Oh, that's right. I remember this.
Devils.
That's right. You're going to be in a suite.
Yeah.
Going to be in a suite. So
you must have connections.
Are you golfing?
Maybe
in the daytime.
No,
golfing?
I just
Anthony.
What? Well, part of a bachelor party. Typically, you golf and then you go to the
Friday night.
Not mine.
The game will end.
It's part of it's part of the festivities. Part of.
If I'm being honest, the doors open 90 minutes before puck drop.
You're going to be there.
I'm going to be there.
Okay, fair enough.
And that'll be during the show.
Anyway.
Oh boy, Andy.
Anyway.
I'll be sick tomorrow.
What's your blowout special in week 9?
Nothing like just diving into it, Anthony.
Well, I mean, guys,
I have my glasses
we
on,
heard enough about Marsh's day plans tomorrow. Okay, we asked the kid about
Congratulations,
it.
by the way, Andrew.
Yeah,
thank you. It's not my bachelor party.
Oh. Okay, now it's not as weird. I thought we weren't invited for this. Shoot.
Well, Jamie, I'll swing by, maybe toss you some food while you're down in between the benches.
Between the benches?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll say, hey, want to come up to the suite?
Yes.
Call the game?
Yes.
That would be fun.
You probably would.
I would love that.
From the second period. I'm going to go with the Saints, by the way. Saints over the Bears. Blowout special. They're going to win by at least 10, if not 14 plus.
Yeah.
Against our guy, Tyson Bagent.
That's the only one I see on here as a potential blowout, really. All the other ones where there's a blowout candidate as far as being a loser, the team they're playing isn't that fantastic.
Yeah, like the Browns and the Cardinals should be a blowout, but you're like,
and then
Cleveland.
Colts, Panthers, you're like, it should be, but will it be?
Right.
So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Marsh?
I think the Rams blow out the Packers this week.
Wow.
Packers stink.
They do stink.
I'm not just saying that because I'm a biased Minnesota Viking fan.
No,
the Rams are also
not good.
Banged up to crap, though.
Matthew Stafford has one hand for this.
He's got one hand. He's got no right tackle. Like, I actually think the Packers win that one. I'm just going out confident.
Going out on a limb here.
All right.
Well played.
Maybe that goes right into the upset special because the Rams are technically an underdog, Marsh. So would you like that to also be your underdog special of the week?
No.
Hey, okay. Jamie, do you have your underdog special of the week? You want me to give out mine?
No, I do have one.
What do you got?
And this one's a little bit out there.
Ooh, can I guess?
You can try to guess.
Is it Cardinals Browns?
No.
So it's a little bit out there, you say?
It's one where you're going to be like, really? But then when you think about it, you're like, maybe.
Like, oh, I can see it. Okay. Giants over the Raiders.
No. I actually have that game picked just that way.
Titans over the Steelers tonight.
I have that picked that game too.
But not the one you're thinking of.
Jets over Chargers.
Bingo. It is. I think that.
Did you actually pick the Jets?
I did. I think.
I'm going to verify here.
Shut up, Anthony. The Jets' defense could cause enough problems for that Chargers offense. And Zach Wilson, he might be able to manage the ball enough to squeak one out.
They should have lost last week.
I know, but they didn't. See?
You picked the Chargers.
No, I didn't, Anthony.
Yes,
Stop.
you did. I'm looking at it right now.
Why do you help me with these things?
Well, I mean, come on. You said that's my upset special.
It is an upset special.
So you win either way.
It doesn't mean I have to pick it. It's just my upset special.
You could have just went with the Giants.
You really did that to me.
Who you did pick. You did pick the Giants.
I told you I went with the Giants, and I told you I went with the Titans.
Unbelievable.
I thought that was more interesting.
Okay, fair enough. My upset special is
Give me that guy. Okay, we'll read out the notes in front of the class. Be ready. Be ready.
My upset special, and I'm going to stick with it this time, is the Panthers at home. I called it last week. I didn't stick with it.
Frank Reich's former team, too. This is a revenge game.
This is a revenge game for old Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers, much better team at home than on the road. And this Colts team stinks. I don't care what the record is. Just 3-5, it also indicates that they kind of stink, but somehow everybody kind of still likes them. No. Carolina, restore the roar. With the Panthers this time instead of the Lions. I guess Panthers don't really roar.
Oh, I'm sure they do at some point.
Panthers.
Yeah.
Upset special of the week.
What is the line on the Texans-Buccaneers game?
The Texans are laying 3 points as a 3-point favorite.
Okay, so
if you like the Bucs,
I don't.
The Texans are favored in that game?
They're favored.
Oh, I'd bet the house on the Bucs.
What about the Raiders?
I wouldn't.
Raiders are favored.
What?
Damn it.
They suck. And they don't have a coach or a GM.
Honestly.
Or a quarterback.
That's why I like them this week, honestly.
I got my Minnesota Vikings over the Atlanta Falcons.
I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you one bit.
I think that's the premier matchup of the Fast Lane this week.
Oh it is. So good thing. So Jamie automatically moves out of.
Yes.
Right now, he's in the Waffle House because they're both 4-4. But this is the matchup he wants because he automatically moves out of the Waffle House.
Yes.
Unless they tie. Which, let's be honest, is a possibility.
It's in play, man.
It's in play. But one of us is going to be back in the Waffle. I have not been in the Waffle House yet. It's been Marsh, and now it's been Jamie. The Falcons lose.
You've never been to Waffle House?
No, I haven't been in with the Waffle House Challenge, the Fastlane Waffle House Challenge.
But take it to lunch one day.
No, yeah, Waffle House is great. But whoever loses, they're going to be firmly in that Waffle House Challenge. Okay. Let's go through these real quick. Steelers, Titans. I got the Steelers short week home team against the Dan Marino Jr.-led Titans.
I had Titans.
I had the Steelers.
Chiefs, Dolphins from Germany.
Chiefs.
Dolphins.
I went with the Chiefs, too. I think this is going to be a fascinating matchup, though. I like the Chiefs coming off a loss. We know Marsh likes the Vikings. I took the Falcons. If Arthur Smith went with Desmond Ridder, went back to him, I would have taken the Vikings. But since it's Cacaw's law, I'm going to take the Falcons.
Taylor Heineke for me. Falcons.
Right. Seahawks, Ravens. I think the Seahawks are the biggest smoke and mirror team in the entire league. I think they're an absolute fraud. Give me the Ravens.
Ravens, please.
Sorry, Swan. I'm going with the Ravens.
All right. Seahawks, Browns. Browns. I don't even know who the Cardinals are going to start Cardinals,
Browns.
Cardinals, Browns. What did I say? Ravens?
Seahawks, Browns.
Seahawks. One of the Cardinals.
There's a bird.
One of the birds.
There's a bird.
It's going to go to Cleveland.
Yeah,
and they're going to play the Browns. I don't care which bird it is. It's going to be the Browns and win.
I picked the Browns in this game.
Also went with the Browns.
All right, we know that that Marsh likes the Rams over the Packers. The Rams are really banged up. Green Bay stinks. I'm not saying this with my chest out, but I do have the Packers in this.
I think I have the Rams. I can't remember.
You took, Jamie, I can tell you right now, you took the Packers.
I did?
Yep.
All right, let's go Pack.
Well, you could change it if you want to.
I don't know. I won't do it, Anthony.
All right.
Nope.
Bucks, Texans. I took the Texans at home. I think the Bucks are fracturing here. They've lost 3 in a row. Houston in a bounce-back spot coming off their first loss. I got the Texans.
I got the Bucks, baby.
I have the Houston Texans.
Okay. Jamie, you actually did take the Bucks.
I know I did.
Commanders, Patriots. I don't like anything about Washington unless they're playing Philadelphia. It's like the only team that they're competitive against. Give me the Patriots. Again, I'm not saying this with my chest out, though. Give me the Patriots at home against a Washington team that's now depleted after trading 2 of their starting defensive linemen.
Yeah. I got the Patriots. The Patriots showed out pretty good last week, all things considered. They put some points on the board. compared to what they had been doing.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Patriots.
Sure.
And it's in New England, too.
It's in New England.
I'm going with the Commanders.
Oh, boy. Saints and Bears. We all have the Saints?
Yep.
Panthers were my upset special over the Colts. You guys took the Colts?
I took Gardner Minshew.
I did too.
All right, Frank Wright Ball. You guys going with the Colts? I got the Raiders in this one. They fired McDaniels, so they got the problem out. They benched Jimmy G for Aiden O'Connell. I trust Aiden O'Connell. He's been in the league for an hour. I trust him more than Jimmy G at this point, who's a turnover machine. Only person more proud of Jimmy G than in fact, the only person that is proud of Jimmy G is Desmond Ridder, because he thinks that's how you do it. You just give the ball to the other team constantly. Give me the Raiders over the Giants.
I got the Giants. Danny Dimes is back in the lineup, baby. He's coming back with vengeance.
Confidence.
Hey, I'm going with the Raiders.
All right, Eagles, Cowboys. I got the Eagles in this one. The last time Dallas played a team with a pulse, the only time they played a team with a pulse was the Niners, and they got taken to the woodshed. I don't think it's going to be like that. This is a divisional game. Going to be close. These two teams split last year, but I think it's going to be close in the fourth quarter. Give me Jalen Hurts over Dak.
Yeah, I got the Eagles.
I got the Eagles as well.
I got the Bengals. They bullied the Bills last year in the postseason. Bullied them. And I got to face my fears, which is the Bengals actually being better than I thought they were going to be. So give me the Bengals.
I've got Joe Burrow as well.
I'm going with Anthony's Cincinnati Boogeymen.
Yeah, there you go. And I have the Chargers over the Jets because I think the Jets, like everybody's starting to think, oh, the Jets could be good. They're not good. They should have lost last week to the Giants. He might play, huh?
Every week, I look forward to seeing how much progress he's made. I'm sure he'll be,
right,
doing something next week.
See him throwing?
Yeah. Can he? Even when he gets cleared, can he actually play well? Okay.
Who knows? He lasted 2 downs.
Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, give me the Chargers.
The Jets were upset. I love it.
I forget sometimes who I pick because I go through this battle in my head. I go back and forth, and then I get to this point. I go, and I can never remember my login. It's on the one computer.
You got one computer that you do your picks on. I absolutely love it. Marsh, you take the Chargers?
Yes.
All right, there you have it. What's trending is next in the Fast Lane.
of sports, the Fast Lane has you covered. What's trending now?
Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate to Goodwill to win a magical Polar Express staycation.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Jamie, you were on the balloon party earlier today talking about Harry's and talking some NBA basketball.
Nice.
Was I?
Well, you made it a point that we would talk about the Lakers and the Clippers. Lakers win 130 to 125. That's not what I want to get into, though. James Harden, in his introductory press conference with the Clippers, said, I am not a system player. I am a system.
Oh, God.
Do you think this is the reason why he is no longer on half of the teams in the league?
It's exactly why he's never won a championship.
Wow.
It's exactly why he's never won a championship. You cannot have a guy just be rogue in the NBA. How the hell are the other guys supposed to know what the hell you're doing? How do you coach schoolyard basketball? How do you do it? Like, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
He annoys me. Watching him play over the years and watching his effort based on whether he's happy or not, that drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he put on like 30 pounds and then it was miraculously gone, like within 3 days. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Was he wearing a fat suit? Was he not? I don't know. I wouldn't want this guy as my teammate ever, like in anything. Even if we were playing basketball right now, there's a court out here. I don't even want him to be on my team. I'll play against him. I don't care if I lose. I don't care. I don't want him on my team.
The Clippers, the team that has struggled to win a title, decided to go with the guy who is talented enough to be a part of a title team, but has never won a title. Right? Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Clippers, who have had issues trying to win at the highest of levels, decided to bring in a guy who has never won at the highest of levels.
Russell Westbrook.
Sounds like a nice matchup for them. It's perfect. Right there.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that.
Nope. That sounds good to me. Congratulations to every other team, because you have a better shot at now winning a title.
Congratulations to Nelson Cruz, who is retiring after 19 seasons, 464 home runs, and one ball that he failed to catch in 2011.
Oh, wow. You went there, didn't you? Good for you, Marshy. Good for you. I love Nelson Cruz, especially toward the latter, like the last couple of years. Now, last year was a little rough, and I think the year before was a little rough for him. But Nelson Cruz, I wanted him to be a Cardinal. When they got the DH, I wanted him to be a Cardinal. Now, it worked out just fine because Albert did quite well last year.
Yeah, he did.
But I kind of wanted to see Nelson Cruz in a Cardinals uniform. Just as a fun player. Played, at a high level into his 40s. Somebody that was very reliable. And yes, somebody that helped contribute to the 2011 Cardinals championship. Congratulations.
Anthony, yesterday you briefly mentioned the passing of Bob Knight.
Yeah.
What was one of your favorite stories about Bobby Knight?
For me, it was just the ultimate. He was. I mean, we're talking about one of the best head coaches, period, in any sport, and somebody that kind of fit in that time frame too. Jamie, you have talked about this. 80s, 90s. That style of coaching worked then because you had a style of player. Jamie, you were one of them. There wasn't a lot of pushback when it came to this is how we're going to do it. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't any players that didn't give any sort of pushback, but typically when you're growing up, you kind of had that hard-nosed coach, right? So Bobby Knight for that era was perfect. I'm sure Bobby Knight could have done just fine in other eras as well. But he really fit for the 80s and 90s. And he won at the highest of levels. And obviously, very theatrical and stuff, too. And, when he got ticked off, the chair throw. But I don't know if there's one specific story. I just appreciated what he did from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not a big Bobby Knight fan.
Fair enough.
I'm just not. I had coaches like that growing up and they take it too far. They just take it too far. They treat you like a bag of dirt, and, that was Bobby Knight. It was. If you're a star player, it seemed like you were unscathed to a certain degree, but if you were one of his lower guys or even like a bubble fringe player, those are the guys that took all the heat.
Yep.
Those are the guys that got yelled at, kicked, shoved, head-butted. Don't bring that. No. I thought he was a bully. I didn't like him at all.
All right, fair enough.
Someone should have kicked his ass, quite honestly. That's my feelings.
If he was a hockey coach, it probably would happen.
Yep, maybe. Although you still got guys like Mike Babcock rolling around and nobody's kicked his ass yet.
True.
There's been guys, Mike Keenan, the guys threatened him and stuff like that, but you're always worried. You're always worried about the repercussions of doing it, right? You're going to be that guy who beat up the coach. He'll never play again. There's this behind closed doors club. And so that's why I don't like Bobby Knight, because he knew these college players, they weren't going to clap back. Their futures. He held their futures in his hands.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That kind of leverage when you're treating someone like crap is not cool.
Well, rest in peace, Bobby Knight. What else you got, Marsh?
Well, I just wanted to say, Jamie mentioned...
I'm not going to change my stance.
Jamie mentioned Mike Babcock. There was a guy that dressed up for Halloween as him.
Did he throw a chair?
No, he wasn't throwing chairs. Last thing here.
Oh, Babcock, you're saying.
He had a cell phone. From the ESPN, David Schoenfeld, way too early 2024 MLB Power Rankings. Cardinals clock in at number 23.
Wow. Well, it's fair based on the fact that they only have one pitcher, or two pitchers, or 1.5 pitchers.
Is Matt still technically on the IL?
I'm assuming he's counting Matz as somebody that's going to be in the rotation next year. So, technically he's on the IL, probably. Yeah. 23 as of right now, that's fair.
You know what? I like it. Prove everybody wrong.
Oh, now you're doing that. Now you're doing that thing.
I really believe the Cardinals are one simple facet away from being a competitive team. It's pitching. And as easy as that sounds, as easy as it sounds, you can still screw it up big time.
Yep.
And so that's the part that concerns me. And that's why I'm at 23. I'm like, it's probably kind of fair, because they're going with the odds of what are the odds of this team totally, raking in the offseason based upon their recent history? Probably not so. So it's probably pretty fair.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them maybe hit a little bit better with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's probably good too. Yeah. So what we're saying is they don't have just one problem. They have multiple problems. Okay. There was a tweet that was sent out about 20 minutes ago, Jamie? That would be shocking from a sports the sports world would certainly be shocked over this. If this were to happen, we'll tell you what it is next on 101 ESPN.
Here's what I think is going to happen. And, I'm hearing chatter to this effect, not that it's reporting, but when you're plugged into the NFL grapevine and you hear something like this, it's too good to keep to yourself. There's a theory out there that when the season ends, Josh Harris, the new owner, of the Commanders, is going to call the Patriots and inquire about what it would take to get Bill Belichick. So the Patriots wouldn't fire him. The Patriots would essentially trade him to Washington and avoid any further financial obligation, get something back. Remember, they had to give up some stuff to get him when he was the Jets head coach for like a day in 2000. And so there's a thought out there that that's how this is going to go.
So that was Mike Florio on the Zach Gelb show talking about something that, Jamie, you had stumbled upon on Twitter about 20 minutes ago, that the Commanders would be the new owner for the Commanders would call the Patriots to inquire about Bill Belichick. Now, we've seen this before. The most infamous situation was when John Gruden went from the Raiders to the Buccaneers, and Gruden wound up winning a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's guys, but he wound up winning the Super Bowl nonetheless. So we have seen this before. But why would Belichick want to go to Washington? That's my question on this.
That's so there. I have a lot of questions about this. One, what makes you think you're one Bill Belichick away from being a good team?
Yeah.
Because Bill Belichick is essentially coaching a very comparable team right now to the Commanders. Part two of that, maybe this owner knows that in this offseason he's going to go out and go get a bunch of pieces because they've got some money and they're going to do some things and move some pieces around because apparently the new ownership desperately wants to put a winning team in Washington.
Mm-hmm. And they're ready to clean house.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe so. But then what makes you think that Bill Belichick will want to coach the Commanders?
Mm-hmm.
And does one coach like that make the difference? I don't know.
Yeah.
Tom Brady and Belichick were the dream team. But you don't have a Tom Brady.
Mm-mm.
So, I don't know.
No, I mean, I would be interested to see because right now we all know the narrative. The narrative, of course, is that Bill Belichick without Tom Brady is nothing. Now, if you look back at the first 3 to 4 Super Bowls, that was Bill Bel. That was mostly Belichick. The team that he put together, the scheme. Tom Brady was managing things.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2007 when Brady, and he didn't win the Super Bowl that year. Of course, that was the year that they lost, the first time they lost to the Giants. But that was when things kind of flipped, and it wound up being like Brady it was still Belichick's defense and all that, but Brady was capable of winning on his own too. But he goes to Tampa, wins there, first year, wins there. And
that team was good, though. Let's just be fair. Belichick was left with a team that wasn't good, and Brady went to a team that was missing only Brady.
Absolutely. And Belichick, and I think Brady, part of it was like, hey, Brady wanted to go on, have some fun.
He did.
And knew that the Patriots, I mean, Bill had stopped building a good team. He was missing.
Yeah.
But okay, to your point, Jamie, because I'm glad you made that point. It was a good team. That's why he went there. And we like to give all the credit to the player. Once they win championship, it's all you. Coach wins a championship, it's like, look who we had.
Mm-hmm.
So, on that note, I would love to see Belichick go to not a Washington team, but a team that has a franchise quarterback, and then see what he can do.
Yeah, but then people say, well, he went to a team that's already good.
I know.
I'd like to have him go to the Buccaneers, quite honestly. They've got Shaky Bakey.
See if he could do it too.
And see if he could do it with that team. Because I think Bill could win with that team. The way he schemes and all that. Now, is Shaky Bakey the guy for him? No, maybe not, but just another mid-tier / kind of good quarterback. Someone who's not going to lose games for him.
Yeah. See, I would want him to go to the Chargers. Work with that team. Because that team is good. it needs a coach.
Okay, I like the idea.
You know what I mean?
I like the idea for sure.
And they haven't gotten over the hump.
No, they have. And they have Justin Herbert, who is a stud, but still kind of unproven because he hasn't done anything.
Exactly. If we...
Marshy, how loud do you have your headphones? Why does that happen every so often?
That was really loud.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was just, I was going back to listen to the Chris Kerber interview, and I clicked on a spot to listen to it. And, because I'm doing behind the scene things
here. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Anthony yelled, 2019! Right in my ear.
We could hear over here. I was like, how did we hear that? He's got headphones on.
Man, that was really loud.
All right. Anyways. So the Chargers are that team. For me, I would love to see Bill Belichick with that team.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll tell you who wouldn't like to see that.
Andy Reid.
100%.
Yeah, but that'd be fun though. You get Andy Reid versus Belichick twice a year, and you get Belichick an actual team. Like Belichick, the GM has steadily gotten worse.
Yeah, I think I'd have some help for him.
I can't imagine that Belichick though. The coach has gotten worse. So if we were to go, don't go to Washington. There's no, like to your point, there's no talent there.
It's a lateral move.
Yeah.
In fact, it makes him. It would stand that he could even look worse because at least in New England, people know that he's just got a pile of hot garbage there.
Yeah.
If he took a trade to Washington, like they know it's not a good team, but the expectations at that point are like the Bills going to save us.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody right now, at least for the foreseeable future, that helps save the Commanders right now.
And outside of them, I don't know who else would make sense.
Well, the Raiders. People are popping up with the Raiders, but
again, you don't have a quarterback. I don't. And I get the connection because Tom is a minority owner there.
I didn't even think of that.
That's probably what people are saying. And of course, obviously, they have there's a head coaching vacancy now.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at other teams that.
Would need a coach.
Yeah, like what about the Browns?
That's where he started.
And it is where it started. There is a connection there, and I feel like that's a team that could use a little help, a little bump. They're kind of on the cusp. Like they're supposed to be a lot better than they are, and they got a good defense there too already.
I think we found it though. The Browns are being interested, but I think we found the team.
The Chargers?
Yeah,
totally agree with
that. You put Belichick in L.A. with the Chargers. And Justin Herbert, I think that'd be interesting. And if you're wondering, why are we talking about this? Because Mike Florio and some other reporters are saying that the Commanders are going to reach out to New England at some point about the availability of Bill Belichick. We'll see. We'll see if that's a legit report or not. It's interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, nonetheless, it's reputable guys talking about something that's really serious.
Yeah.
So,
who knows? It's a Fastlane on 101.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who really knows? It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We get the biggest question of the day, but we do this every Friday. And yet, like I said before, Marsh is out, and Jamie will miss the final 2 hours of tomorrow's show. So we're going to do our Build Your Own Sleeper team next on 101 ESPN, along with the biggest question of the day.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues fall to the Colorado Avalanche last night by a final score of 4-1. They'll be back in action tomorrow night taking on the New Jersey Devils. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We talked earlier today with Blues head coach Craig Berube and voice of the Blues right here on the Blues Radio Network, Chris Kerber. If you missed those interviews, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Texas Rangers are the World Series champions. MVP goes to Corey Seager as the Rangers close out in Game 5, a 5-0 victory over the Diamondbacks. Tonight, we have Thursday Night Football right here on 101 ESPN. It's the Steelers taking on the Titans. Pregame starts at 6:30. We have our sleeper team. We're going to build our sleeper team and have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, independent American standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Time to build our own sleeper team here in the Fast Lane on 101 to ESPN. I'm a three-week champion right now, guys. 3 weeks.
That's pretty good, Anthony.
Feeling good.
I mean,
thanks, Jamie.
It's not normal. Usually, you get the football guy to be good at football.
Okay.
What?
Boy, you really know how to burst the guy's bubble.
No, I was giving you full props. You're the lead dog, and you're proving why.
No, I like that. I like the way you phrased it. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
By the way, new gridiron guys out. Woo! Kerry Davis, Anthony Stalter, get all your football info. Gridiron guys.
Thank you, Jamie. You the man.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
Just fresh off the
Why do you think
the audio.
Why do you think I'm doing so good at the Pick 'em Challenge this week? I listen to the gridiron guys. Okay?
Thanks, man.
I get my information from there.
Go opposite.
Me. Doesn't matter what I do, okay? I get my information from my two favorite football guys.
Thank you.
Maybe second and third. Dan
Sure.
Orlovsky might be first. But
Yeah,
still.
he is. I respect that.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Just for that, you get the first pick.
All right.
So you could whatever you want. Whatever you want. It's your pick.
I feel like I need to build. Anthony, would you quit electrocuting yourself?
Sorry.
I feel like I need to build with my quarterback. And this week, there just happens to be a game that, it could end up ugly. It could end up really, really ugly. In a good way. Anthony, you got me onto this. You did. Derek Carr.
D-Money.
He was rubbish. But not this week. Not this time.
They were good last week, so.
Yeah.
Bears are also terrible.
The week before is what I'm looking at, or the Saints.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's been rubbish for most of the year.
Yeah.
Pick any other week but last week.
So
Yeah.
Derek Carr's my guy because, I mean, who couldn't put up points against the Bears? Just saying.
That's a good point, man. That's a real good point. Okay, so Derek Carr is off the board. Marsh, who's your pick?
I gotta give life to my new quarterback, Jaron Hall.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go with Jaron Hall.
Wow.
I think he's going to have a big week. I'm hoping he has a big week against your Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
I like it. Anthony, what do you got?
I'm going to go Bryce Young. I said that the Panthers are going to upset the Colts this weekend. Bryce Young. If you look at the Colts, the defense, they have not been great. Derek Carr, the aforementioned Derek Carr, he scored 18.3 points last week against the Colts. Stafford put up, and Stafford has won a Super Bowl, so I don't want to say that he's been bad or anything, but Stafford 16.2, C.J. Stroud 21.5 points, fantasy points against the Colts. So it's Bryce Young's turn. Bryce Young's got a new play caller. Last week, they're coming off the first win. They play better at home. So rolling the dice with Bryce Young as my sleeper quarterback pick. Marsh, it's to you.
I'm gonna go with my wide receiver next. I'm gonna take Jake Bobo of the Seattle Seahawks.
He's been really good. He has. He's been really good.
That's my guy.
Nice.
All right, Jamie.
Yeah, wide receiver for me. I don't know what to expect in this game overall, but I think they're going to have to air out the ball because they're going to be playing from behind. So, Brandon Cooks.
I like your thought process on that.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon Cooks off the board. I'm going to take Rashee Rice from the Chiefs. That could be a
Jerry's
shootout.
brother.
Nope.
It's his son, isn't it?
Nope.
His cousin.
Same last name, but that's about it.
Football royalty, that kid.
No doubt. Yeah, same position, though. Rookie, quiet game last week. Only caught 4 or 5 targets for 56 yards, but he still led all the Chiefs receivers in targets with 5 receptions and yards and played a season-high snaps, 61%. So I think Rice is slowly becoming that outside-the-numbers threat that the Chiefs so desperately need to complement Travis Kelce. And again, that could be a shootout between the Chiefs and Dolphins on Sunday morning. So I'm going to take Rashee Rice, the rookie. All right, Jamie, wrap it up.
What?
The game.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Come on, Anthony. You know better than that.
Yep.
Running back. Alex Madison for me, Vikings.
Okay.
I think that we've got a brand new quarterback, Marshy's guy there. I don't know if they're just going to release the hounds and let him air it out all game. They're probably, if nothing else, at least for the first half, we're going to try and get this kid some reps, get him some looks. Easiest way to do that, easy way to control the pace of the game is by running the football.
No doubt.
So I think that that's going to be where my guy pops in.
Okay. So you guys got some Vikings this week against my Falcons defense. Marsh, who's your running back?
Well, I didn't want to pick Jamie's player, so I'm going to go with the other running back for the Minnesota Vikings, who actually had more fantasy points last week than Alexander Madison. That would be Cam Akers.
Boy, you guys are loading up on the Vikings. Holy smokes.
It just makes sense, Anthony.
Does it?
It's not necessarily that they're going to beat the Falcons.
You just think
it's just that they're going to have to hand off the ball a whole bunch.
Like 50 times.
Probably.
All right, I got Kareem Hunt. I've gone to Kareem before. 15 touches the last couple of weeks, but he's made the most of it. He's got 4 touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns. Jerome Ford's dealing with an ankle injury, so I think that Hunt winds up having a decent game against Arizona. So Kareem Hunt is my sleeper running back.
I had him on here, too. I wrote him down.
All right, so Jamie,
I didn't take him.
Fly through it. Your team, your sleeper team this week?
Quarterback, Derek Carr. Starting at wide receiver, Brandon Cooks. Starting at running back, Alex Madison.
Marsh?
My quarterback is Jaron Hall.
That's my quarterback.
According to Steven on the text line, a.k.a. The Future.
Let's go Vikings.
I have Jake Bobo, and then Cam Akers is my running back.
Okay, there you go. And I went with Bryce Young as my quarterback. My running back is Kareem Hunt, and my wide receiver is Rashee Rice of the Chiefs. Now, time for the biggest question of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
All right, we got one from FedEx Brian. FedEx Brian, going back to the Blues, is the quote-unquote babying time period come to an end for Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou? And is it time for them to step up and be the players the Blues hope they should be? Or are they vanilla and just to be what we see? Good game, bad game, game off scenario.
Oh, a lot to unpack there.
It's like a triple barrel question.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. What was the first part, Marshy? Give me that first part first, like right now.
The babying time period, has that come to an end?
I thought that came to an end last year, quite honestly. There was some tough love from the coaching staff towards both players at different times. But if you're asking for more of that, well, yeah. But the babying time has been over since these guys were declared to be, the foundation of the forward group moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's not the coaching staff babying them or anybody else. It's just they're the guys now. So they'll either succeed or they'll fail. If they fail, there won't be any need to be angry at them or punish them because they'll just fail.
Yeah, good call.
So I think, the babying part is long gone. Part 2, please.
Part 2 of that question. Is it time for them to step up and be the players the Blues hope they should be? Or are they vanilla and just going to be what we see? Good game, bad game, game off scenario.
Okay, so a couple things here. when you talk about these players, for the last 2 seasons, they've been point-a-game guys. I don't call that vanilla. I call vanilla like 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, to be completely honest, 41 points. 1 point every 2 games. That's vanilla. But he's playing in your top 6. Yeah, whatever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys have put up some pretty good numbers. Now, they haven't put up 95 to 100 points yet. If that's your expectations, then fine. But it is time for them to step up. We just outlined that they're the future of this franchise from a forward position standpoint. And so, yes, it is time for them to step up. But let's not forget that, Robert Thomas is leading the team in scoring right now. And I know it's not like mind-blowing numbers and, something that you're bragging about, but you're asking him to do something, and he is. Now, could the team be scoring more? Yeah, that'd be nice, for sure. But I do feel like he's accepting the responsibility here for a little bit. I mean, he's got 6 points in 8 games.
Yeah.
He's just slightly off the pace of a point a game. When it comes to Jordan Kyrou now he's got to pick it up. He's only got 3 points in 8 games. He's had about 4 breakaways. He has.
Yeah.
And, so he's got to start putting the puck in the back of the net. But, yeah, I don't know how you feel, Anthony, but I think it's more than time for these guys to step up.
Yes, I completely agree. I think that, look, we've talked about this. Jamie just illustrated that perfectly. Man, what is going on with this microphone? Regardless of if you're a Stanley Cup contender, a playoff contender, a rebuilding team, you need your dudes to be dudes. You're paying these guys for a reason. And I hate the excuse of, like, when you're paying guys, they have to, they automatically need to go to, like, the Hall of Fame, or else it doesn't justify the contract. I hate that. But there is a point to saying, okay, a lot of our cap space is dedicated to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it's about.
100%.
Forget the, you're making a lot of money. Dance for me right now. No, stop. You're allocating your resources to build a winning roster. Most of your resources, in order to build a roster, going to a couple of players. Those guys have to produce for you just as a starting point. And then you can start to mix in some of the complementary pieces, right? Because you are trying to build a team. So if Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou and these guys, if they don't take that proverbial next step, forget the leadership aspect, let's just deal with the production. They don't take the proverbial next step from a production standpoint, this team's not going anywhere, period. End of story. It's kind of like the Cardinals with the pitching, right? If they don't rebuild the pitching, it doesn't matter what the lineup looks like. There's just certain facts here. Or it puts a lot of pressure on Doug Armstrong to get a lot more out of the other pieces of the roster.
Which can be, it's not as feasible as you think.
It can happen, but...
Yeah. No, you need your big dogs to play like your big dogs.
Yep.
They haven't so far. And a lot of that is to do with the power play.
Yes.
So
agreed.
Get the power play going. I'm telling you, see guys get more points and this team will win more hockey games.
Well said.
It's a fact.
Factoid. That's Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. We are going to wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN.
NFL week starts on Thursday nights, and FanDuel has you covered by offering some great promotions. Right now, all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay for specifically the Thursday night football game. All you have to do is just place a 3-leg same-game parlay on this week's games between the Titans and the Steelers, and you'll get bonus bits back if you don't win.
Yeah, so interesting matchup tonight. You got Dan Marino Jr., as we've been calling, with Will Levis. Kenny Pickett on the other side. Of course, Derrick Henry. You want to build your own same-game parlay, man. It's a perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at an even bigger payday. So tonight, for example, you got a Titans team that often forces teams to throw because they take away the run. So maybe you want to take some of the unders on the Najee Harris prop plays and you add it to Kenny Pickett or George Pickens, who I love the Steelers. Then you kind of look at some of the other Titans prop plays and you combine them all. and you get the same game parlay. You can build your own or choose from one of the popular same game parlays pre-built for you on FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. But in order to capitalize on the deal and the promo that Jamie just threw out at you, visit FanDuel.com/fast so you don't miss on your chance to get that no-sweat same-game parlay on America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL.
21 and over, present in Illinois. Refund issues non-withdrawable bonus base that expires 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you missed anything from today's show, including our chat with Craig Berube and Chris Kerber, as well as some, I don't know, kind of a heated discussion to start the show about the Blues between Jamie and I. We also discussed the Cardinals and what would be the least amount of, moves that they would have to make this offseason to make you optimistic about next year, or how we played Hot Take or Hot Garbage, or our picks for the NFL Pick'em Challenge for this week. You can download the podcast at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. By the way, Cody from STL won the Blink 182 tickets. Marsh asked the question, which song did the Blink 182 guys in the video, what song were they naked for?
Naked.
For the entire video. Correct answer is...
What's My Age Again?
What's My Age Again?
Nice job, Cody. Got that one. And he was the 101st texter. So congratulations, Cody. He's going to go see Blink 182 on August 10th at Enterprise Center. Good stuff there. Marsh, what do we have for criticisms and compliments?
All right, from the 636, Anthony is on fire today.
Thank you.
You were feeling yourself today.
Yeah,
Whoa.
It was a little uncomfortable for a while.
Oh, it's kind of in a groove. With
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
That's what
that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
What'd
All
you
right.
get out of it?
Something different. I'll tell you later. Thank you.
Just
for the
don't show
text.
me.
No problem.
We were talking
Nothing you
about.
haven't seen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unfortunately.
We were talking about the 6-1 hate earlier today. He wanted a press conference, and Jamie delivered.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And then you guys said maybe he wouldn't be invited to a party if
I did. I said he would. Jamie said he would.
Well, either way, he texted back and said, "Go blank yourself, San Diego."
I respect that.
I do, too.
I do. I respect that.
It's just hard to picture 6-1 hate at a party when it's always negative. Like, I wonder, like, so there's two types of people, right? There's the people where when you have a couple of cocktails, they go from one way to another. So they get happy, right? They love everybody. I love you, man. I love you more. Oh, my God, you're such a good dude.
I'll tell you.
Right? You know? And then you have the other ones that are miserable people to start with, and then they drink and they get worse.
Right.
And they get belligerent. And then so I just wonder if the 6-1 hate is the guy that goes from negative to really negative, or as he goes from negative to like really happy.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why don't you have a party and invite him, Anthony?
Okay.
Find out.
I will. More than happy to have the 6-1 hate over.
From the 617, does anyone break down the ice better than Rivers?
Hell no. Hell no.
I appreciated that. That was very nice. People always say some nice things. People say some mean things on here, too. But for the most part, our
Either
listeners are really nice. I appreciate that.
Well, if
Thank
we're
you.
going to have a show motto of nobody's safe, that includes us. So.
Oh, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, but Jamie, you do a phenomenal job, man. You always do it in a way where even if you're listening, as opposed to watching on Bally Sports or even our Airlines team YouTube chat, you do it in a way that you can visualize it. If you don't know the game, you can still visualize what you're saying because you do it in a manner where it simplifies it, even though the content isn't that simple. So you do a great job.
That. Thank you very much.
Geniuses make the difficult content simple. Marsh.
Wow. I like where you're headed.
Jamie's a genius.
Wow.
Phew. You're hired. I don't have any money, though.
That's right. Get my clear camp going.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably why the clear camp, maybe it's just not being funded.
Not yet.
Not yet.
After the way I broke down that way to generate more offense, where you go off the glass.
I might sign up for it just for men's league.
Yeah.
From the 314, I can't help but picture Marsh as Ozzy Osbourne every time he hits us with the "Are you kidding me?" after seeing his Halloween costume.
That's really good. You pulled off that costume real well. I mean, real well.
Yeah. It was a work of art.
It certainly was.
Thank you. From Marsh's burner, all of this uniform talk. We were talking about uniforms and I believe it was the sports six-pack. What is this, the balloon party?
Oh, yeah. Jackson loves uniforms, too.
Does he?
And they talk about it. I respect the conversations.
Yeah.
I always think that it's fun to talk about this stuff.
No doubt.
You know?
Here we go from the 6-1 hate. Just texted in. I'm a musician, and I'm really happy. And I'm a really happy guy until my Cards and Blues don't care to win.
There you go. I think that's fair.
I don't know if they don't care to win.
They don't care to win.
Sometimes they just don't win. And I respect that. People are passionate about their teams and they want them to win. I know that. I feel it. Trust me. I'm a Cardinals fan and a Blues fan. And last year for the Blues was tough. This year for the Cardinals was tough. Hoping to break the chain of events here. Blues season.
That'd be nice.
It would be.
All right. That'll do it for us here in the Fast Lane.
Just for today, Anthony.
Just for today is right. Although Marsh got himself a 3-day weekend.
See you guys on Monday.
Nice job there,
Jamie,
Marsh.
I might see you tomorrow in the suite.
Yeah, come on by. Come down between the benches. They'll love it.
Get this guy out of here. We have Steelers and Titans pregame starting at 6:30. So got a small or short, I should say, a short instant replay against Steelers Titans pregame at 6:30. We'll see you tomorrow too. See you.